Hello, and you're listening to You Still Going On About That with myself, Rob Israel, and
Joseph K.
And you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, Castbox, and Podbeam. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it. Tell your mom about it. And while you're at it, we also have a Facebook page. You Still Going On About That. Again, like it, join it, comment, share it. And thank you and enjoy. You still going on about that? You still going? You still going on about that? You keep going. You still going on about that? You still going on about that?
I like this one.
Baby, you still keep going about that? Oh yeah, I said.
Oh, yeah,
What? Sorry, I was just getting really into it.
That was a Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker?
Is it Joe Cocker?
That's a phallus type name.
Yeah, it is.
Who is that?
Joe Cocker. I'm surprised there isn't like a whole section of like
just musicians with phallic names.
Yeah.
Joe Cocker. I never heard of the man.
No.
Or I just made this song up.
Yeah, well, clearly it's not a Beatles song as read.
Wait, who? Who's the Beatles?
So, Get By With a Little Help From My Friends, which is from...
Okay.
All right, I got you.
All right, yes. It's a famous song.
Okay.
By a musician.
By a musician.
And I guess, like you said, and recovered by even more famous musicians.
Yeah.
And it was used as a popular theme song for an 80s show called The Wonder Years.
Oh, yeah.
I figured we were going to talk about Forrest Gump finally.
That's been on our radar.
And
true.
So, yeah, did you see it?
I did. Yeah, well, I did 20 years ago.
Oh.
No.
Shit.
I was thinking we could do because we did 2 episodes very recently.
Yeah.
We did Shazam.
Right.
Which was kind of a bonus episode, and then we did Us.
Right, not like Us.
Right.
The movie Us.
The film Us by Jordan Peele. And I thought that now we could do, and I do want to get to Forrest Gump. Don't get me wrong.
Well, we're talking about Forrest Gump today. What do you mean?
Currently, yes. But I'd like to switch it up to a special episode. Bear with me here. You still going on about art?
Ooh, my brain! My head's about to explode. What do you mean?
Or my backup plan was you still going art about that.
Oh,
the first one's better.
Yeah.
They're both. I thought we were talking about your art.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna talk about me, then it's a pure narcissist I am. I'm gonna have to just put Forrest Gump away.
Put it off to the side.
Put Forrest Gump off to the side.
Right.
We'll eventually get to that. Right?
Yes.
You will never.
Oh, yeah. Look,
this won't become like a recurring
this
joke
is
where
not.
we say we're going to talk about Forrest Gump.
Right. This is not week 5 of a recurring bit in which we swear we're going to talk about Forrest Gump.
Right, because the people are clamoring.
Oh.
They demand.
Right.
A deep dive discussion.
deep dive into Gump. Look, when we first met.
Oh, well, how about this before we do anything?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And
still going on about art.
Wait, people are going to be confused.
You still going on about that.
All right.
That's the name of the show.
Okay.
We're going to talk today about art, specifically your art.
Okay.
And I guess to get another thing out of the way, the 2 places people can find you most frequently are on Instagram, Rob Israel, and Rob Israel Geek Art.
On Instagram.
Also on Instagram.
And then on Facebook, you can find me on Rob Israel Art.
Right.
And on Twitter, Rob Israel Art. Hey, update. In the last episode, I said that I only had like 38 followers on Twitter.
Oh, okay. What are we up to?
I think well, let's see. Sometimes they go down, so I don't want to make false promises. 43.
Wow.
It's happening. So I got almost 93,000 on Instagram. I'm catching up. Twitter's taking over.
This is like the opposite of Thanos' snap, where like now you're just kind of escalating.
Right, yeah.
Right.
I'm not even half. I'm not even like it's like not. I'm like literally the dust.
Yeah. Okay. So when we first met, I think it was a neighborhood event. I think we had something here.
Well, I met you at the school.
Okay.
Because your daughter goes to class with my son.
Yes.
And you saw me and said, "Hey, guy, you want to start a podcast?"
Yeah, exactly.
Which I thought was odd when you meet a stranger for first time. You know, and
but apparently, if you ask it to enough strangers, it happens.
right. That's like the that what's his name on King of the Hill. Not Boomhauer, the one who's like talks real funny.
The one on King
of the Hill. It is Boomhauer, right? The one's like
right.
Yeah, he's always has women, and there was an episode where Bobby Hill found out how he does it. He just asks every woman, and he eventually gets that. Yeah.
So. Well, that makes sense.
So that's what you were doing with the podcast.
Well, no. So I remember. I forget how it exactly happened, but I think my wife was telling your wife, and it came up that you did art, that you were an artist. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I thought you were an artist, kind of like how I am a guitarist.
I don't know how to react to that.
Well, I played guitar.
I do appreciate a rhyme scheme.
Well, I played guitar back in the day, not professionally or anything. Occasionally today, I will bust out the guitar. And, am I a guitarist? Sure, I'm a guitarist. And I thought that's how you did art. You did art in your spirit. But as it turns out, that you're an artist in the sense that that's your vocation. That's how you earn your money. That's how you put food on the table. That's
earn my money in quotes.
Well, but it is what it is. And then I looked you up on Instagram, and son of a gun, you had like almost 100,000 followers. You had like 4,000 images on Instagram. They were all amazingly great pieces that I liked very much.
Thank you.
Well, yeah.
All of them are great.
Well, yes, every single one.
All masterpieces.
Except, and then I was like, we should do a podcast where we talk about art and pop culture, because a lot of your art is pop culture themed.
Right.
And after a week or two, you're like, yeah, we should do it. And we just, I don't think we ever said, let's make it a movie podcast, but that's kind of how it...
Well, I just, someone else talked to me about that, and they said, how come, you're not talking about art? They heard the podcast, and, I don't feel comfortable talking, this is different, you want to ask questions about me, but I don't feel comfortable talking about artists, like other people's art, or... I guess in a way we were talking about movies. We were talking about art still.
Oh, of course,
it is a form of art. There's artists involved. It's just weird how, I don't know, I feel more comfortable, trashing things like that. But I don't want to trash, art or, talk about... as if I'm an expert on it, or if I, haven't even, an understanding, or even remember the names of the actual artists.
Yes, yeah.
I just feel more comfortable talking about, those things. It's I'm interested in them, and it's fun. Yeah. And maybe it's because I'm not in movies, or I'm not in
I think that's...
I don't know. It's possible. It's like a hobby to me. I like comics and music and movies. I didn't want to just be about art. I just didn't think. But it gets talked about.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
We talk about art, and you're right. A lot of the film we talk about has comic book involvement or pop culture involvement.
Most of its origins comes from
that's true.
Written or drawn page.
Well, even Fight Club was eventually turned into a graphic novel.
Right, and it was a book originally.
Yes, it was a book, yeah.
Most movies are written before, not just a script, but they usually...
True.
A lot of them come from books, and sometimes you don't even know it, because sometimes they change the name of the book.
Right. Like They Live was originally like a 6 or 7 page short story.
Precious was originally called had a totally different name.
Oh, really?
And I forgot the name of the book, but they had Sapphire.
Oh, that's a odd
something.
Name change.
They changed to Precious. Well, it makes sense. Precious sounds more interesting from a movie standpoint.
Yes, Sapphire sounds more like a showgirl's syntax.
Then they had to change the book name.
Right.
I lied. This is actually we're just gonna talk about Precious.
Okay.
My favorite, and I'll just get this out of the way now. But one of my favorite memes is the girl from Precious on the bus. And outside, hanging from the window is Gollum, and he's saying, "My precious."
That is a good one.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny because meme is art, to some extent.
It can be. It's definitely, and we can get into that later. You talk about art and everything. It can be used in all different ways.
Yeah,
and I feel like sometimes every meme I see now because I'm like at this paranoid state where I just think every meme has like some insidious like agenda.
Yeah.
Almost like every meme.
Yeah.
There's like something like I remember years ago working on a property, and they were cool with us like taking this character. I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that part out.
Sure.
But this character who rhymed with. I'm not going to do that because that's what it rhymes with. That's even worse.
It's not like Yicky Youse or something.
No, not Yicky Youse or Ronald Fuck.
Oh no.
We would put him in different scenarios.
Sure.
And we'd put them in different memes, and then we would have to get them approved. And then we would realize like half the memes we would give them, like send it approval, they would just do a Google search for the meme and find the origin. And realize that every one of them had something to do with masturbation,
right?
Some kind of sex act. It's like everything had some kind of like
perverse undertone.
Yeah.
And
now they have like racist undertones and like there's all kinds of fucked up things.
Yeah, it really is. You wonder, and I guess we'll get into this too. But like you wonder, like once you release art into the world, how much control? I'm thinking of the Pepe the Frog guy.
You have none.
Right.
Especially with the internet now, you have none. I mean, I made sure when I first... So, I mean, you brought up, like, to me earlier, one of my most searched images.
The Rick and Morty.
Well, the Rick and Morty art.
Yes.
So, that is definitely, like... I picked up some steam doing some artwork, like, for fun. And it got out there, but... got out there where like I didn't have my brand name on it yet. I didn't like come up with a signature. I didn't do this. And I always love when people are like, "Who would watermark it?" That's always like people.
Sure.
There's always got to be some smart ass. I'm like, okay, you're right. Why didn't I do this or why didn't I do that? It's like, thank you, thanks for your help, buddy.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I mean, I make sure to put the logo on it. I don't think it means shit though. It still gets stolen. It still gets used. And people. And so, I mean, the Pepe the Frog thing is definitely an interesting one where I still don't know. Like, I know it was a comic series that the guy did, and it was like one of the characters from it, and it was literally one panel from the page of the image of the frog's face.
Okay. The Feels Bad Man? Or
Feels Good Man.
Oh, Feels Good Man, yes,
yeah,
right.
And it just got out there, and it was like on everything, and I don't know when it became a recruitment tool
for the right wing,
right. Alt-right, neo-Nazis or whatever. Then you start seeing like the Trump one, with him mixed with it, and then like, so one of the funny things was I was posting like political art, and we'll get to that later. But I was posting political art, and I'd put them in there sometimes as a joke, just to like, and my God, some people would get really weird about it. They would say, like, oh, he's peace and love. He doesn't mean this. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's being used on all these different things. He was specific. He was definitely used in the French election 2 years ago. The one, Marie Le Pen, literal neo-Nazi party in France, which...
it is what it is. You can't argue otherwise.
I feel bad for the artist, but at the same time, it's like... It sucks. I don't know what to say. I'm like, well, I tell people like, listen, don't get mad at me. I'm not the one making him a recruitment tool. Like, I'm just pointing out that he's being used.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hurting this artist. I'm not doing anything that hasn't. The damage has been done.
Right, and it was done kind of incrementally.
And and it was overly done. Like, it's part of history. I mean, it'll be in like history books. Like, they're like. 10 years, 20 years from now, who the hell fuck knows where we're going to be as a country or as a world? Who the fuck knows? But in 20 years, you're going to see that face, and it's going to...
It's synonymous with the Trump movement and the right-wing.
It's like it's the Earth. It's around the planet. It's not even just Trump. It's like a global tool that is used. Like, he's part of that symbolism, and it's... I feel bad. I think his name is Matt Fury.
I don't know, but that is an awesome name.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
It is and it should be.
Actually, that would be a series I would watch. Is probably like a Nick Fury's younger brother, Matt Fury,
who accidentally creates a cartoon that turns into
a Hydra recruitment tool.
Yeah, he's used as and he's like, shit. My dad, Nick Fury, was angry at me.
All right, so
hey, Marvel, if you steal this idea, we'll give you our Venmo accounts.
Right,
you better fucking pay us.
So right. So okay, so let's jump. We're going to jump right into the thick of things, and I specifically don't want to ask you, like, when you were a little kid, did you like to draw? And like,
I sure did.
Right? Did you draw in your school? So I'm going to skip all that.
Yeah.
And I thought a good way to start talking about your work would be I picked 5 or 6 images.
Okay.
Specifically from your Instagram account.
Okay.
And these aren't like what I think are the best or the worst or the most. These are just 5 images that caught me and made me think of a certain thing.
Okay.
And the very first one is actually an image I first saw on your living room wall.
Yeah.
And it's a great image. It's Lou Reed from Transformer. The cover of Lou Reed Transformer.
The famous album cover.
Yes. And
T-shirt.
Yes, but it's not exactly Lou Reed's image the way it appears on the album cover. He has 3 eyes and 2 noses, and then and it's uncanny because like you look at it and you immediately know what it is. That's Lou Reed from Transformer. But then you're like, that's not it. It's like if your eyes worked independently and you lost your focus.
Yeah.
And I love that image. I love the album. It's a cool...
It's like my wife's favorite.
Oh, is
yeah,
it?
That's why I'm not allowed to sell that one.
Oh, okay. That
fine.
makes sense why it's in your house.
Yeah.
Display. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because probably...
I don't hang up my stuff.
Yeah, you really don't.
No, I don't... Yeah, I always have this... Like, I already have it up on Instagram. I have some stuff up. Like, I have, like, some posters that I did, like, I did like the Against Me poster.
Yes,
I did a ministry poster. Anything that to me was like a big deal, like I'll hang up at some point, or like little milestones to me.
Right.
But I'm not gonna hang up my shit. Like, I mean, it depends on what it is. Like, my wife's like, "Oh, you should hang up all that's the prints that I made of my own," and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, to me, it's like, it's weird.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't really. It's like, I don't know. Maybe my mom didn't hang up my art on her fridge or something, But that's fine because I always like I didn't get like a full sense of like accomplished. Like, how do I say this? Like, I always feel like there's one of the biggest hurdles an artist can have is to think what they do, their shit don't stink.
Okay, yeah.
And not be able to take criticism.
Yes.
And not be able to take direction or to change. I mean, I always say there's a difference between not taking criticism and not taking like just someone being an asshole.
Yeah, there's a difference between criticism and abuse or nitpicking or
it can be a very thin line.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like, I know when I hear criticism and I know when someone's being a douchebag. There is a difference.
Yeah, and I'd imagine
the douchebag's trying to bring you down. They're not trying to bring you up. Criticism would be like, "Hey, if you did this or if you did that, this would do this to you." It would like be an elevator, maybe give you an idea for something else.
That's a good way of putting it.
But a douchebag would just tear you apart and not try to. I always thought it was funny because like I used to be an art director.
Okay.
And I'm sure the people who worked under me would probably disagree. Everyone's perspective is always, but I like to think, because I've had other art directors and other people where they would just like throw it on the ground, walk away. Like something stupid, like I could have just said, change that to purple, and that would have made it better.
Right.
While I myself would never let something just fall apart. Unless it just outright sucked from the start, I would always find a way to elevate it, make it look good.
Yeah.
And that's like important. But so when it comes to like, I guess I'm moving away from.
Oh, that's okay.
So yeah, like it's saying is like some of the prints, like I don't want to put them up because unless they were like milestones, like if it was like an official thing I did for some company or whatever, or like then that would be like almost like an award in a way.
Well, you have that's a good point. I don't have this on my list here, but you have an image upcoming in Mad Magazine.
Yeah, like that's a big deal to me.
And that's something that you would feel comfortable.
Right? Is that my best piece of artwork I ever did? I don't I mean, I'm not going to say it is or it isn't, but it's a big deal to me. So yeah, I'll probably frame that.
Yeah, right. It's like, symbolic of a milestone.
Stepping stone, you know, or doing, like, I have some album covers. I might frame those, you know, from some bands and some up-and-coming groups that I did. You know, I did T-shirts for, like, Annie Flag. That was cool.
Right.
I did some T-shirts for this company, Getter.
Oh,
He's a musician, big EDM artist. Like, those to me are, like, those are big deals. Like, I did that Rick and Morty shirt, like an official one.
Right.
Like, that was a big deal.
Yes.
Like, those mean a lot. Now, again, are those the best pieces of art I've done? I don't know. Probably not. I'm sure that some of my best work might have been like a pet portrait I did for somebody.
Sure.
And it's not in my house anymore. I just have like a decent photo of it on my phone.
Right.
It's on my Instagram somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because it's like what, like art, like, and it's maybe it's because I have like a commercial artist background.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not... It's kind of funny. I think I'm coming in at a different point from other people. Like, a lot of the artists that I deal with on Instagram, stuff like that, they're either younger than me or they didn't work in artwork. Like, they didn't work for, like, a licensing company or they didn't work... So it's like... They're just a different kind of artist. Yeah, like... Yeah. And I've been, like, abused, I guess, for it, or boot camps, working in the apparel industry could be very...
taxing,
it can be very abusive mentally.
Well, I'd imagine there's different ways to measure... I mean, obviously, there's different ways to measure success, because you could say, well, I sold this image for X amount of dollars, and that's one way to measure success, or... I put this image up and it was shared by these multiple famous people, and that's another measure of success. Or I gave this to one person and they just were so effusive in their praise and they hung it in their living room. And you know, so there's, I mean, how do you measure success? I mean, it's a bunch of different ways.
And some of it's just, you know, it's personal, and, you know, something you just liked, or, you know, you drew the perfect eye.
Right,
you know,
right.
You know, maybe
that's funny.
It's hard to gauge. So, like, when you talk about, like, that Lou Reed, I do like that one. So that is a three-eyed... I did that for a while. Like, when I first went on Instagram in, like, early 2014, I had it for a while. I never used it. Like, I think we talked about this before, but I saw other people at work were using it, and they were showing me how they were just putting art on there, and I was like...
You're talking about Instagram.
Instagram platform. And there were these people there that were posting artwork and just doing little dumb doodles or whatever, nothing like masterpieces.
Right.
And it's like, holy shit, this got 50 likes and this got 6 no. I mean, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, back then, you know, it's like, I mean, anytime, I didn't draw, I always did artwork, and I did, you know, I was working in the t-shirt industry. So if I got something at Target, that was a big deal to me. Like if I walked into a Walmart. Or if I worked at an Urban Outfitters, you know, more at, like, cooler stores or whatever.
Sure.
Or, you know, Hot Topic or whatever. And I would see my shirt was there and it was doing well. That to me was a big deal.
Yeah.
That back then, like, to get it in those stores. Thing was, I got no credit for it. I got no one
your
said,
name was not on it.
No one says. It's funny, whenever I do conventions now, I always see people come by my table. They look at my stuff, and it's either their kid or the adult is wearing a shirt that I did from the past 10 years.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'll tell them I made that, and it'll freak them the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because they'll just be like, wait, what?
Right?
Like,
I bought this in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yeah,
like 7 years ago.
Yeah, or I got this. Yeah, I got this at Target last year.
Yeah.
It's like, because, you know, companies I work for, they're still selling. Selling shirts for, like, I did a bunch of Star Wars shirts for this one company, and even like when Force Awakens came out and last year came out, there was like this big influx of T-shirts, and I started my designs that I did like 7-8 years ago that were like still getting sold, and I'm just like, ooh, imagine the royalties on that. But I mean, who cares? That's the nature of the game. I was getting paid; they were giving me my insurance. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
you don't get royalties in that industry. It's kind of a
I would imagine.
That's a whole nother podcast.
right. What do they call it? Isn't that called like the fast fashion segment? Where
work for hire is, you know, or not work for hire, but if you're working for a company in general, you know, they own the artwork. That's just how it works. You know, they're paying you to make art, but at the end of the day, it's like
you're a cog. Yeah,
you are. I mean, they'll try to sell it to you and say something like, try to make up some bullshit about how They want you to be creative and do that. But every time they do that, they throw something in there to remind you you're a cog. So it's like, which am I? Am I an artist?
Right.
Am I just a fucking design monkey? Because I know I'm just a design monkey. You can sell me bullshit.
It's like, I suspect that at Subway, they're like, I'm not really a sandwich artist. You know,
right.
like I'm just a sandwich maker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I knew that. And I was able to separate myself from that. Right. Which was fine. You know, it's like I was able to understand how the business worked. You know, like I said, my art wasn't put up on the fridge by my mom, so it wasn't like treated like a art god at 8 years old, which is fine. It's not like an insult to her.
No.
It just didn't give me this false sense of like, everything I do is amazing. I can't handle any fucking criticism.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
And there's a certain understanding you have to have as again, it's like I learned it's like funny because I never was like a painter. Like I did some painting. Like I didn't go to like a fine arts school. My interest in art was probably, even though I always enjoyed art, I think my appreciation for art probably lent to stuff that was technically commercial. Because if I was reading like comics and movies, animation, all that, I mean, those are products.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's art, but it's a product.
It's a product.
It's designed to make money. I mean, fine, some of these things are short little films that got entered into like awards. Yeah. But even those are just tools used to get attention to a studio so they can make money.
Yeah. Like, it's hard to separate. I mean,
it's a weird thing, but to just come up with some bullshit and say like this isn't the money or we don't do this, it's like, all right, sure, whatever you say, buddy. Then donate all the money you make and give it to like a homeless shelter.
Well, with the three-eyed Luke.
That.
No, you had a bunch of.
I did a whole series of them.
And you told me once that some people will come to you and think that that's your shtick. That's kind of the entirety of your.
I'll get people. Yeah. I've done maybe like all right. So when I first started using Instagram, like I said, it was to like just doodle on there, and I like getting like the little responses, and I started getting like other artists that liked me, and like other people were responding to it, and then stuff was starting to get shared. It was like a Simpsons contest. It was like a
cool.
It was a bootleg Bart Simpson contest. So one of them was it was a contest that was going on some site with this other thing called Bootleg Bart, and it was some magazine. I don't even think it's even around anymore. It was like a French like street magazine. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? But I did a Simpsons picture for fun. I didn't even know about the contest. And it was just like a Homer donut, which is a famous...
Oh, I saw that, yes, yeah.
It was a famous Treehouse of Horrors episode when Homer gets turned into a donut.
Yes.
But what I did to it, and this is before I started really doing anything crazy, but like, I just went in there and just gave like hyper detail, like...
Sure.
I drew Homer, but it's like all wrinkly and extra dots and like unnecessary details.
Okay.
And then... because in the episode, remember in the end, he eats like part of himself.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, but I'm so sweet and tasty. But I had like that, he was like a jelly donut and his brain was exposed.
Right.
And he was like dripping. He's holding like the chunks of his donut in his hands. Yeah. And he's got like the brain.
It's pretty disturbing.
I would say that's probably one of my favorite pieces, and I've done that like a long time ago. I was trying to find the original of it. I can't.
Huh.
And that got a lot of attention. And like some big artist, like one of them was like Alex Party or something.
Oh, okay.
He was like a huge artist. Like he liked it and he started following me, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Who, me?
Yeah,
I'm just a small little boy, a humble little boy who makes garments and garments by abusive managers."
Right, I'm a textile merchant.
Yeah. I had my first job in apparel was actually for underwear.
Oh, okay.
Like boxer shorts and pajamas.
Huh.
And
you would do the design on that?
licensed stuff. So I would do ones with like the Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
And man, there were some really funny ones. Like we would get these crazy comments like Homer cannot look at the crotch; he has to look away.
Okay. So this is guidance from
The
Fox
license.
or
Yeah.
Matt Groening or
I probably shouldn't be talking about this.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But one of my favorite was like Homer, and he's on the because everything's funny, but once you realize it's on a boxer, it's a whole new meaning.
Sure, yeah.
So like Homer is like an image of the style guy, and Homer's like drooling.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like on the leg, and he's looking at. He's pretty much eyeing your
package.
junk. Yeah, and he's drooling, and that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that would be.
Like I did the South Park one, and like Cartman, who says it all the time on the show, but on a boxer, whole other meaning, he said, "Suck my balls," and I guess on a boxer, that's literal. It's a shocker that was not approved.
Right, yeah.
So that got the Homer picture got traction, and then just did more drawings, and I did a bunch of Simpsons drawings because the guy was like. The bootleg Bart people were liking it, or at least the magazine was. I don't think the bootleg Bart ever liked any of my shit.
Well,
whatever. Yeah. I'll get over it.
Hell with them. Well, no.
But it led to other things, and then one day, like, I saw somebody like, it's Robert Crumb's birthday. And I was like, I like Robert Crumb. And
yeah.
I always was told, even back then, like, people say, like, I draw like him, which is kind of odd because I have familiarity with like what's the cat
Fritz the cat,
which I always loved that he hated hated the Ralph Bakshi cartoon. He actually killed he killed Fritz the cat. Like he murdered him in his comic because he hated what they did to his. I don't know why he hated it. He just did, but he just seems like he's probably like the kind of guy who's just like. No matter what they did, it wouldn't have pleased him. He seems like an oddball like that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Crumb. I mean, I saw that film from a million years ago.
Oh, that's an amazing documentary.
Yeah.
And you find out like about his brothers, and like the one brother's like even more talented than he is.
Yes,
but he couldn't get his shit together.
Yeah,
I mean, the other one's complete. The other one's just not even a bigger basket case.
Yeah. I don't remember so clearly. Wasn't one of the scenes the guy was like eating? One of the brothers was eating like a cloth that he would pass through his body or something.
I don't remember, but I believe it.
Yeah. Okay. So no, I don't see a ton of similarity between the two. I just don't.
I don't even know, but regardless, I just drew a picture of Robert Crumb, and I was like, I gave him. That's the first one I did, and I gave him 3 eyes and 2 noses. Okay. And I just thought it was very befitting of him. Sure. And it got like. A big response to me. It got like 100 likes. Yeah. Which to me back then was like, oh yeah. Ooh, what's going on here? I'm blown up, Right. This is back in the dark ages of 2014,
Yeah, which gosh, I mean, that's 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy that
Instagram was probably pretty new. They've been bought by Facebook?
It's been around already. I think they just were bought by Facebook. Okay. They've been around since 2010. Yeah. I think. Okay. I'm pretty sure. I started using it like I said, I had it. I had my account since 2012, but I didn't do shit with it until.
Well, I scrolled back to the very beginning of your main account at Rob Israel. Yeah, and I couldn't tell exactly like when it started, but I know that like one of the first, like it was clear it was around the time you moved to Texas. Yeah, was when you.
I was in Texas for like a couple of months, and that's when I met people who were that were like using it all the time, and it's like.
And it looked like you put like...
It was a lot of my older artwork.
Yeah, you had like 10 or so images. You could even tell that some of the images were older. Like you had photographed older...
Well, they were images I probably had from an older camera that were like... Who knows? I mean, the cameras have gotten better on the phones. Like, I think I was using an iPhone 4.
You were using those pictures. Motorola Razr.
Yeah. I was using my clamshell.
Well, let me jump to a pretty recent image that you put on there, and you had it titled Batfink. Okay. And I thought it was a cool image to talk about or to kind of think about because it was a synthesis of Ratfink, that old kind of antithetical Mickey Mouse from like the early 60s.
I mean, it was all hot rod and
hot rod culture and then it was Batman, like a Batman type head.
Well, I've drawn I'm a big fan of comics and I like Batman. And the thing is I could draw Batman. Sure. But it's like not fun.
Yeah, you could probably draw. I mean, probably you could draw a straight Batman.
I could. Right, I don't want to. Like it's like. I mean, if I was paid to do it, if somebody wanted me to do it, I would Yeah, sure. You
Yeah, if
pay
someone
me to
DM'd
draw,
you and said, make me a Batman.
Yeah, I'd be like, there's other better artists that could do it, but sure, I'd be more than happy.
Here's my Venmo information.
Yes, pay me.
Yeah.
Pay me money.
Yeah, of course.
And I will give you a above average regular Batman.
Yes. Yes.
It just depends. I mean, it just, like, I want to draw different things. So, like, you know, the thing is, I did, going back to the Three Eyes thing, and I gave it to one of my friends years ago. It was the Adam West. It's a famous image of Adam West, where he's like, I think it's the one where he's holding the bomb or something. It's
yeah. And he's in the Batman costume.
And I gave him the three eyes and everything.
Oh, okay.
And it was like perfect for that look. And that got a good reaction. So like I said, I was doing all those like three-eyed ones.
Yeah.
And I did it for like 2 years. Maybe 2.5. Like literally that's all I did. So that's probably why people think
I could see
that's
that.
why I do that. But I just find it odd because I rarely do it now. And I would still have people come back to me and ask me questions like, why do you always give things three eyes? And I'm like, I give things like 1,000 eyes. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I guess at this point, who's counting? But back to the Bat Fink, it's just, I don't know. I was just having fun with it, but I always liked Rat Fink and drawing the hot rod thing and just trying to, you know, what's his name? Wolvertune is an interesting artist. Like back in the like Mad magazines, we use him. Like it was this comic called Plop. And they would use him too, like DC. Wolverine just would make these disgusting characters, real crazy, like bizarre, like on a whole nother level. So that's I see that as like an influence. Like the Bat Fink, I don't really draw like a lot of hot rod stuff.
No.
I've done commissions. Someone had me do like their brother in like a car with their dog, and I made the whole thing like real hot rod looking.
Gotcha.
And that was fun to do. That was like a
It's weird because the Bat Fink isn't really like representative of your work in general. Like, if someone showed me 100 images and that was one of them, I don't know that I'd immediately say, "Oh, that's Rob's work." You know,
it's definitely something that's different. You know, it's weird because I think I was talking to someone else about this, like when it comes to like art, and it might be just because of my background in licensed apparel and having to always do different things. Like, I see some artists, and it's not a knock on anyone. It's just some artists, they just do the same thing over and over. And that's fine. And maybe that's a good thing, you know, especially if it picks up.
Sure.
Or if you're known for something and, like, it's a specific look.
Yeah.
I myself, I mean, maybe I haven't found it yet. I do all these different things. And I do themes, and I'll jump on them. And I'll do, like, a whole foray of them. So, like, the three-eye thing, I did that for a while. People were just thinking I was a three-eye guy. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not just a three-eye guy. I'm also, like, you know, whatever. And I want to be, like, different. But I also have, like, different interests. So it's like, I want to draw other things. I don't want to just get locked in, like, a box and, like, have to constantly just use the same color palettes or use the same design motifs.
That is true. You
draw everything in, like, the same type of cartoony way. But people have told me they could tell it's my work.
I think so. I think I wonder if I could tell it's your work, like with absolute confidence, just looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, or if I could say, if someone says this is your work, then immediately my eye is drawn to a whole bunch of small details, and I'm like, well, of course this is his work because this is kind of represented, and I see this in another image.
Like a good, like when I do my shows and I do like I have my merch table with all my prints. People will say, "This is, you know, who did this?" I'm like, "It's all my artwork." And they're usually like, "Whoa," you know, and I'm like, because I do have different representations. Like I have my Peanuts, which is like skulls.
Yes.
And I played that with three eyes, like with the skeletons, because it was for that was a big deal too. Like this was like early 2000, like late 2014. So it was like a year and two into Instagram. And one of the artists like hit me up and he said like they're doing an art show in Meltdown in California, and he said it's gonna be a Peanut show, and I knew what Meltdown was. It's not around anymore, but it was a big deal. Like, it was a huge comic store, but they were famous for having like comedy shows in the back.
Oh, okay.
You know that Twilight Zone episode, the new one.
The comedian.
Yeah. Najim. I can't say his name.
Yeah.
he used to host a show on Comedy Central.
Oh, okay.
And with someone else, and like it was a big deal. Like they had comedians back there, and they would do art shows, and those art shows would get like it's L.A. It's like the heart of L.A. I've been there one time when I went there, and you could tell like this was like the cool place.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that it closed down, but I guess things just cost money, and
things change. Yeah,
and shit happens. But like when I was I wish I went out to that show, but it was this big peanut show, and I did different peanut drawings, and just to get to it because it was like to me this was like a big deal because. Like I haven't done anything like this before. Like I've done like little art shows. Like
but this was like
this was a big time
big
art
city.
Show. This is like there's got to be probably some celebrities there. This is a real deal.
Right.
Like this isn't some podunk thing. And, I mean, I'm no offense to podunks.
No.
You know, there's it's like protesting. Like I used to go to the big protest in New York City and DC back in the day.
Right.
And then when I lived in Chico, I'd see people protesting on the corner. And
it's like
screaming.
people,
It's like literally screaming at a wall. It's like you're whatever. You're literally if you're making no difference in New York, you're making zero difference. So, like you're not even you just look like a lunatic. So this was like I gotta like bring my A game to this or whatever it was at the time, and so I started doing like a series of different Peanuts drawings. And I was like, I'm gonna make them little skeletons, and it's been done before. I'm not the first one to put Peanuts. I don't think I am, and I know
I have
like
no idea. Yeah.
Ron English has done stuff with. He's famous for doing like this thing where it's like the grin where the face is stretched out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you know, this was not. Regardless, and then there's like other people have just done things with famous characters, and it's just skeletons. And I did a couple of them, and those got good reaction. Like I did like a Vader helmet. That was made out of a skeleton. Oh. And I would do like... But I don't... Like, I try to do, like, different things. I would try to have fun with it. Like, so in the helmet, his head would have, like, a spine. Okay. And the spine, like a rib cage or whatever, like, it would shape the helmet. So it wasn't just, like, a solid bone. Because to me, that's, like, boring to draw. Yeah. I wanted to make it as intricate as possible. Right. So I did the Peanuts ones. I still brought the 3 eyes in and the 2 nose look, but I, like, gave them, like, shape... And then, like, Snoopy, I gave him, like, ears, but, like, the ears are, like, makes no sense. It looks like a fishbone. Oh, okay. And I remember someone left a comment. They're like, dogs' ears wouldn't have that. And I'm like, dogs don't sleep on top of fucking houses either. Or fly planes.
Fly stop with camels.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up. Yeah. You know, like, it's just a stupid... I'm just like... Okay.
Good point.
Noted. Fully noted.
That's why pencils have erasers.
Fully noted. Thank you. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to rip it up and start over. So I did a whole bunch of them, and then eventually it led to just like a 9-up of the different characters, and it sold at the show. Oh, okay. And the crazy thing too was LA Weekly. I guess it was LA Weekly. They did a thing on the show, and my artwork was the main image when they were promoting the show. Oh, that's cool. It was like the first image on the... I was just like... Yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. So, you know, it's like little things like that is what like got me some traction. Sure. And
now, at this point, and we'll discuss it more, you had a day job. And this is... You were doing... art as a day job, and then but for someone else, and you were doing this art on your own. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
And it was just building up, and you know, you just keep doing it, and then, you know, again, still doing like the 3-eyed thing. Yeah. So it's kind of fucked up, but I have like a whole library of them, where and this is like so fucking weird. I was like you know how like newspapers have like obituaries ready to go for celebrities. Right. I had so many of these. Remember in 2016 when like shit ton of celebrities died.
Oh yeah, because you have a Bowie.
I had a Bowie. Yeah. I had a what's his face? Lemmy.
Oh yeah,
I had a Lemmy. I drew all these. Like a year or two before. Like it just, and I was just like, and they would just get attention, and it's so fucked up. Yeah. Like I said, it's like I had it ready to go. Right. I had a Cosby one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think when people
I had a
think
Jared from Subway. I had these were all terrible.
When people think of Cosby and then blurred vision type of stuff, they don't naturally.
Yeah. He's like making that Cosby face. Like, that's right. Drink my wine.
Little pudding pop thing.
Put in my pop.
All right, so let me move on to the third image that I had kind of settled on. Was one that I thought was like a really good representation of a lot of the stuff that you do currently. I know this probably isn't a real recent image, but it was a Wednesday Addams, and she had the "They Live" face.
Okay, so that again was like another one of those weird like, where I would do a ton of those. Mm-hmm. So the Wednesday. It again started with like a three-eyed Wednesday.
Yes, I saw that.
Just to go with all the other three-eyed because it was disjointed.
Sure.
Everything I could think of that I liked or knew, iconic, anything that would work. And I would learn that some three-eyed things just didn't work.
Okay.
Three-eyed, like the images of a three-eyed was really difficult on women.
Oh.
Like really pretty women or smooth canvases, like faces that are like...
Yeah.
Because it's like... It's kind of funny, but like if you draw... Like old people, it's easy because it's like they're so wrinkly.
Right.
You could define them and
sure.
Like Steve Buscemi, I did the three-eye thing. That was like
okay. Yeah.
That got a lot of that. Yep. Got me like that's probably still one of my favorite ones that I did. I did that shortly after I did the Robert Crumb, but he has such distinguished face and distinguished eyes that it's like
right. He's almost a caricature himself.
Yeah, and you could capture it in the three-eye thing. It's there. But when I would draw like a pretty woman,
right?
Not Pretty Woman like the movie,
right? Oh, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. She probably would work because she is distinct looking.
Yeah,
but like it's hard to do because it could lose who they are very quickly because if they have smooth features,
right?
It's like a tough one. It's like unless they had like famous hair or famous outfit, like a Marilyn would work.
Sure,
she's got the beauty mark.
Right.
But like this, like little signifiers. And Wednesday worked because she's got the hair.
Yep, the pigtails.
And she's got a huge forehead.
Right.
Like this is the Christina Ricci one.
Yes, yeah.
She's very pretty.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not talking about when she was long. I'm talking about now.
Right.
Let's make that clear. Yeah. Even though we're at the same age, I think.
Probably,
around the same age. So
probably, yeah.
She, my God, one time, you ever see the movie Monster?
Yeah, with Charlize Theron. Yeah.
So my wife and I, a friend of ours, got us brownies from a Fish concert.
Okay, sure.
Which means they were a little spiked.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was when we were living in Queens, and we decided let's spend the day, eat these because you're gonna have to dedicate a day.
Sure.
And I had the movie Monster on.
Okay.
In this movie. Christina Ricci's in it. She's like the love interest.
She plays Eileen Wuornos. It's a true story.
Yeah, she's playing the love interest or the friend or whatever. I guess she was like the love interest to Charlize Theron's character.
Okay.
And I always love when they have to take pretty people and make them look dowdy or like make them look ugly or whatever. Her, they just kind of like, they just didn't put makeup on her and they didn't give her nice hair.
Put a flannel shirt on her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I was just like getting really fucked up from it. And like I said, I only done this like 2 times.
Yeah.
The brownie thing. And we're watching the movie Monster and I swore her head was getting bigger. Her forehead was getting bigger and bigger.
By like midway through, you're like, "This is a 5 head," and then you're up to like 6.
Yeah, I'm at 10 right now. But there's a famous image of Wednesday Addams where she's kind of like tilted down her head, and
it's like an odd perspective.
Yeah, and the way her hair's separated, it's very noticeable and iconic looking. So I used that for the 3-eye thing, and then I did another image later on that looked more like her. Yeah, where she's kind of more normal posture and everything, and it looked like her. It's probably one of my, I feel like, better drawings of like a woman with a 3-eyed look, because as I said, it's a little tougher. So then I just started, and then one day out of nowhere, I was like, because like some of these ideas, I always like in movies, whenever they do a biopic, they always got to come up, we were talking about Queen, they have to come up with these bullshit ways they came up with the songs. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a fart. It's like, it just happens. It just happens. There's no like, oh, hey guys, stop fighting.
Right, another one bites the dust.
Get the fuck that. No, no, that didn't happen. So like, I it's like when I come up with ideas, it just happens. It's like, so I was like, I drew Wednesday, but I made her look like the vampire from Blade 2.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah,
mouth.
The mouth.
So that was the first one I did, where it was like taking her and really transforming her.
Right.
And then got like a huge reaction.
Yes, that's a very striking image.
Massive reaction. Like this was like at the time, I only had like maybe 8,000 followers. I don't know.
Okay.
And I saw like it had 3,000 likes and then 4,000 likes, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Yeah, it was crazy. So then I did a whole bunch of them, and I just did like her from like the mind's eye from Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Eye of the Beholder. That famous one with like the pig head people with like the fascists. It's like one of the,
they wear the mask.
That's one of the best episodes.
That's a great one.
And I know the new series are going to try to remake it, and they're going to fuck it up. They're going to fuck it up.
Did you do a Wednesday Addams Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes, I did that.
Yep, I
did.
That.
There's a whole bunch. I made a print. I made 2 versions already. I'm on the second one, where I've done so many of them over time.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yes, you did that recently.
I would guess people would say like, what's up with you at Wednesday Addams? And it was like, because it just became a thing where every Wednesday I made one.
Oh, that's funny. Like literally on Wednesday.
And Wednesday, here's new Wednesday Addams.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And like I did one yesterday for the first time in like like probably a year, where I did Luann from King of the Hill,
right?
With Bobby Hill as Pugsley.
Yes, that was good.
It's kind of funny. I haven't done one of those in a long time, but it was just, I would do all these different Wednesdays, and like I said, I would get these people who leave these like, there's again, everyone's an asshole. It's the internet, and social media has just escalated that. So you just get some of these people who like they get really weird. They're like, "What's your obsession Wednesday?" And I'm like, it's not even like an obsession. Yeah. It's like, it's just like it's like, I don't know if people remember like vinyl toys, like where a vinyl toy body would go around and different artists would paint it and draw it. So I found this iconic image of Wednesday. I thought it was funny, and I modeled it, and I would go in and alter it. So every time I would do different things. I did like the It clown from the new movie. I would do like Predator, the Predator head, and then I made her into an alien. I did Venom, Deadpool, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Wednesday Addams
the
makes
Grinch.
Perfect sense because it's so cross-referential, because like A, it's like part of 60s kitsch, and B, it's like kind of a gothy
it's a goth girl.
Thing. It's a goth girl, basically.
Yeah.
And C, it's definitely counterculture. I mean, she's like a contrary
She's like
figure.
Dressed as like a Jewish immigrant from like the turn of the centuries.
Right.
Like she's
and fourth or D, I forget if I use numbers or not, but she's also like instantly recognizable.
Like
because of the pigtails and the and
it was just like a funny thing to do. And I've seen other artists do things where they take something and they'll like just like this one artist going back to Alex Party, he would do something. He did this whole series with Dick Tracy, and it would just do all these crazy things with Dick Tracy. And I forgot what he called. He literally called it like Dick Tracing, so it was like a little little dick joke.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
It was funny, and they were funny, and he did a whole series of them. So it was just like one of those things where it's like artist fun thing, and for a while I was doing it, and it was just funny. And then I had enough that I made. Oh, and then I did that They Live one. That got a great reaction. I made stickers of that. There's a lot of people who bought the shirts on it online.
Okay.
Like I finally sold the original like last year.
Oh, cool.
And I use it, and that's in that print.
Right.
So I just built up enough of them, But then the thing is, and then after a while, it was just getting stale. It's like, how many Wednesdays am I gonna fucking do? And then like I was thinking like, I'm gonna do this one. Like and then it just became a thing where it just becomes rare. Like I think the last one I did before I did this one was last year, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, I remember.
And I thought that would be a perfect combination of two different things, because she's like an icon in itself. Well, she's iconic, and
so much of your work is like that. It's a synthesis of things that are like unexpectedly going together.
And that's a thing. There's a thing called mashups.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of artists like this. Again, this isn't like this unfound territory.
Sure.
This has like been done. It's done all the time. Different artists do it all the time. They find different ways. Like there's artists that like combine like King of Hill with Dragon Ball Z.
Sure, yeah.
This thing, it's like I've seen it, but like when I want to do it, I want to do it with like really unexpected things.
Yeah.
I want to do it with things that are just like ridiculous.
Right.
Either bring something political or something that's like from an obscure movie or TV show or like because what's the point then? I mean, obviously I did a Bart one.
Sure.
I think people have heard of Bart.
Yeah. Some of these things have kind of passed from. They've almost like taken on a bunch of other meanings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And let me shift gears a little bit into this political stuff. And I have the final 2 images that I looked at, planning to talk to you. The first one's political, and the second one's more political, and then we can kind of launch into the politics in general. But one of my favorite ones, when I first heard that you were an artist and looked you up and realized...
My wife would say I'm a fartist.
Right, well, that one of the first ones I saw that I really, really loved was your... it was a Sugar Skull, Rosie the Riveter, Si Se Pueda.
It was to be honest, like I do commissions all the time.
Yep.
So if you're listening,
they direct message you and
direct message me or email me. Preferably direct message me. It's easier to have a conversation and send images.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like you got to wait and it takes a while, and sending images is a pain in the ass. DM me.
Right.
Facebook Messenger sucks.
Yeah, it's a tough
If you have Instagram, DM me. Okay, got that out of the way.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll do like. People hit me up for tattoos. Like I have like just to get this out of the way. I just put on my thing. I used to have like a bigger, longer like diatribe or like a manifesto about tattoos.
Yes, yeah.
I have a tattoo policy.
Right.
And this might take a little time, but it's
what's your policy?
Okay, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just like my whole thing is this. It's like if you want to get my artwork tattooed, like existing artwork, like if you want to hit me up for a tattoo design. You could pay me, and I'll draw it, and I'll send you the original if it is an original artwork to have. Like sometimes I might do it on the computer, so there is no original. But
you send them a digital.
Yeah, I mean, I send it to them anyway. Or they get the original and they can frame it. And if they get a tattoo, they get it tattooed. I don't care. You know, it's like whatever. That's easy. But when it's existing artwork, my whole thing is this. I just like. And I got so much shit from this. And I was like blown away by how much shit I got from it. Like people I expected, but I got shit from other artists. And then I got people who told me like, no, you're 100% right. And I looked at other artists and they have tattoo policies that are way more like they demand much more money than, like I'm not even asking for anything. I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? If you're going to spend X amount and have somebody do this and you're using my artwork. Yeah. Well, I have stickers, prints, T-shirts, whatever. If you bought like a T-shirt online, I only get like $2 profit. Whatever. At least it's like thought of me.
So that's it.
What?
Well, let's say I look on your Instagram and I see an image and I'm like, I want this as a tattoo. What should I do?
I mean, I would appreciate if you hit me up.
Okay, so
I would just say, hey, what is it you want to get done? First of all,
sure,
show it to me. Yeah, and then I would say, well, listen, I could sell you the original. Yep. You can buy that if you want to spend the money.
Yeah, and then you go tattoo.
I could direct you. You could buy a print.
Cool.
So go to Society 6 or TeePublic, or I have prints, or you just don't have to buy that, or you just want a bunch of stickers from me, or pins. It's more of just like, hey, or if you want to just throw me $10 in my Venmo, I find it really bizarre. It's like somebody hits you up and they get really weird, and you're like, you're gonna drop like $300-$500. Who the fuck knows? On someone doing a tattoo, you can't give the artist like $10. Buy a cup of coffee. Like,
well, think of it as like it's a tip.
Yeah, exactly. You're tipping. And someone like started like a Facebook chat, like a Facebook thing, talking shit about me. Yeah, that's crazy. I found it, and I said to the guy, I'm like, well, he was like an artist, and he said I had nerve because. The whole conversation started with it was one of my Rick and Morty drawings that I did, and these drawings are really transformative. Yes. I'm not even basing them on like existing Rick and Morty drawings. Like it's my artwork. I'm doing all kinds of crazy shit to it, and it's been tossed around the internet. This is when you were talking about when you Google search me. Oh yeah. These are like the things that come up. They've been on Reddit. Yep. They've been on Tumblr. They've been on like different platforms I don't use. Yes. With no credit. I've had it stolen, used on like mood mats, China. Like someone sent me China. Someone sent me like one time a video of them walking down Brazil, in Brazil Street, and a guy was selling prints on the sidewalk.
Son of a bitch.
And yeah, how dare he? Well, hold on. No, it's bizarre because he was selling prints of like Bruce Lee, Marilyn Monroe. Like, you ever go to like the city, like any city, and there's always these guys that are selling artwork, and it's very basic stuff. It's always like Muhammad Ali.
Right.
It's all iconic imagery. Well, he had all that, but then he had an image of the Rick and Morty print.
That's crazy.
Of my artwork, which was super bizarre because you think he would just have like a classic, normal Rick and Morty. Instead, he had like my insane with the fucking like million eyes, and like where Morty's just a giant eyeball. It's like not even him anymore. And I'm just like, well, there's nothing I could do about it.
Right, yeah.
So one day, somebody sent me an image of the dude who got his tattoo on his back.
Okay.
Massive tattoo on his back. It's a Rick and Morty drawing that just went around without my control. Like, I posted it, and it got credited, but then it gets reposted by these big accounts. Once a big account gets a hand on it, and they post it without credit, there's like nothing you can do about it.
Right, it's over, yeah.
And Instagram does nothing about it. Like, at least like Twitter is like pretty good with like having some, but even then people still steal shit regardless. I got to steal it either way. But the guy didn't know it was my artwork. Which was fine. He didn't know. And why would he? Because he found it like on a Tumblr, or he found it, and it just becomes this thing in the ether. It becomes like people just think it's fan art. They know it's Rick and Morty when they see it, but it's not Rick and Morty.
Right.
It's like the same thing with, like I said, like Ralph Steadman. We know it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But it's Ralph Steadman. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Ralph Steadman.
No.
He's a legend.
But your point, I mean, the point is a good one, you know.
Yeah, so I made up, what I said was, and of course people got to be dicks and take things out of context. I said, one, if this guy would have known it was my artwork, and he would hit me up if, people, when they reposted it, they tagged me and credited me as the artist. But this artwork got around so much without any control, like, or it got around to the point where, like, I've had people post it, they just have like 30 followers, and they're like, oh, what's the big deal? And I'm like, well, you know, I don't care if you have 2 followers or if you have 2 million.
Yeah.
Tag and credit. So then I just brought up the thing, and I said, hey, listen, you know, I would appreciate if you did that. Like, this guy has no idea that's my artwork.
Right.
And, you know, it would have been nice to know. And then, and then maybe, you could throw me a couple bucks or whatever. And and then I had tattoo artists who were like, we don't let anybody just come in. Like, one of the tattoo artists was telling me, he's like, if somebody shows up in a shop with some artwork, we're like, usually like, where did you get this?
Yeah.
Like, and I've had tattoo artists come to me. Say that, can we use it? And, you know, I tell them the rigmarole. And so one guy started this thing where he was like talking shit about me, and he was an artist, which I just found insane.
That's odd,
he was like, this guy's a piece of shit. He's saying like, you know, he's just drawing fucking Simpsons, or he's just drawing this, and he wants fucking money. He's a piece. And I'm just like, first of all, I'm an artist too. You claim you're an artist. Why would you? So you want your shit to be stolen and like, or used in a way, or not? People not know that you even did it to begin with. And then he had this Facebook group, and I said, hey, you know, I'll gladly chime in.
Right.
You guys can scream at me, but let me at least have a voice. And he kept on making up excuses, saying that he was blocking me. He made sure I could not. That I could not interact with it, which is fine. It's like, I think he ended up taking it down because I called him out or something.
Yeah.
I was just like blown away by it. I just think it's a very simple thing. It's like, I don't know. It's super dumb. What were we talking about?
This actually goes back. We had begun talking about that Sugar Skull Rose.
Okay, so that was just based on commission.
You said that was a commission. Was that a commission for a tattoo?
Yeah.
Yes. And the woman, when she DM'd you, did she say, I want Rosie the Riveter as a sugar skull?
She wanted so I did years ago for an art show. It was like I did a Calvera skull pinup model.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's just like a classic pinup with a Calvera head.
Okay, cool.
And it got around. That was another early image that was popular.
Yes.
And I had people buy it on some shirts. I have it online. Once in a while, I'll see someone buys it.
Yeah, I could.
So she saw that. And she's like, I want that, but I want to do like a Rosie the Riveter thing with it. So then taking my idea, taking it with her idea, mixing it, and just And then I was like, well.
That's cool, yeah.
I mean, it's like, I'm going to use the image, like, unless you pay me, like,
right.
I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay me just for, like, the artwork. It's not, like, a lot of money.
Right.
If you pay, I always have these, like, rules. So sometimes people hit me up with artwork, and they'll say, like, I want to do this and this. And the first thing I say to them is, what is this for?
Yeah.
I need to be clear. So people just want to know. They're like, what's your rate? I'm like, well, what do you want?
Well,
you can't just ask me that. I feel like, you have to be up front and tell me what you're using this for.
Well, we talk about that at my work, my day job too, where we'll say, like, is there a difference, like, if we're going to shoot a video or produce a piece of media for a mom and pop restaurant or Coca-Cola, they're going to get different rates.
Because of how it's going to be used and
exactly,
probably how much time you put into
where
it's going to
be distributed and how much revenue it's going to generate for that person.
Coca-Cola's going to own it versus
right.
Yeah, it's a big difference. So
it is.
If you're just hitting me up and just buying some artwork, I'm going to use, if I like it, I'm probably going to do something else with it or change it or whatever.
But someone could say to you, look, I want exclusive.
Then it's going to cost
a different
more.
Rate.
Yeah, it's going to cost more.
Right.
And
of course.
That should not be an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's the difference between selling like an apple and an apple tree.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool.
So I like analogy.
I like the Sugar Skull one.
That's one of my favorites.
It was political because Rosie the Riveter's political.
And what's going on in this country with Latino people and in the 3 Mexican countries.
Yes.
Part of the Fox News.
North, Central, and South Mexico.
Yep.
And it being Sugar Skull and the Yes We Can in Spanish was clearly like a...
That's my little touch.
Yep.
I had that.
Oh, okay.
I invented that line, actually.
And that was an Obama...
he used that line.
He used it.
There was always it's like kind of weird. Like, artwork, street art, and stuff gets used in politics.
Yes.
And it's like, you remember how big Shepard Fairey got?
Yes, with Hope. Yeah.
And that was massive. I would say that helped generate so much excitement.
Oh, yeah.
Without that Hope poster, I'm not saying he wouldn't have been president, but I would imagine it
was a big deal.
It was a fucking huge deal. This is my little, since we're starting into politics.
Yeah.
I think the problem was, and I was thinking about this, why Donald Trump, even though he lost by 3 million votes.
Yeah.
He did lose by 3 million votes.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. But he still somehow won. He got a victory with our screwed up system. The reason why people were not excited about Hillary versus Trump was because people were wearing anti-Trump art and not pro-Hillary art.
Right.
Obama, see, when I started a T-shirt label around the time Obama was president. It's called Dead Elephants.
Okay.
Dead Elephant.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. All right, cool.
And it was definitely started political. The first shirt I did was McCain popping out of Bush's head. It was like a picture of McCain like coming out, just like same 08. And I sold a couple of them. It sold.
Sure.
But then I did like this Obama shirt where it says "Stop the drama, vote Obama."
Okay.
And he was like, it was like very like 3 colors, kind of Waller-esque, like.
All right, yeah.
Where it was like a photo that I like blew up and like half-toned the shit out of, and he's like pointing at you, and it was only like 2 or 3 colors, and it says "Stop the drama, vote Obama." My line, I think.
Nice.
I'm sure other people came up with that line.
Whatever,
too.
yeah.
But I sold the shit out of that shirt.
I'll bet.
And the thing was, and I talked to someone about this, and I'm like, I can't get rid of these fucking McCain shirts. And the guy's like, because people want to wear something aspirational. They don't want to wear a McCain shirt, regardless if it's pro or against. And Obama was like such a huge, massive, apparel thing. Like I saw people wearing Obama shirts for months, at least in New York City. I was working in New York City, and I'm talking. It was all races. It wasn't just black people or like urban as people would.
Nice descriptor.
Yeah.
Your city?
City folk. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like when people say things to me like, "Oh, you're so New York." I'm always like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. It's funny you say that
because my voice gets bigger. It's not a joke.
I bought a Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine campaign shirt when she was running, and it was a terrible shirt. It was not it didn't look good.
Well, there was no Shepard Fairey artist was doing it. Nobody. It just The problem is like I just feel like whoever's running against fucking Trump,
Yeah.
better inspire people to make artwork about that.
Well, you know who's winning the artwork primary? I think I like Kamala Harris's stuff.
But she's not the one that
stuff.
I don't think at this moment it's Bernie.
Yeah.
People wear Bernie shirts.
Right.
I know this from my own experience, and living in Texas when Beto was running, I was getting flashbacks of Obama running because people were wearing Beto shirts.
It's hard.
Like as almost like it was like a cool fashion thing. It wasn't even political at this point. It was like just like Beto.
It's hard to explain to people outside of Texas how charismatic and inspiring Beto was.
That campaign was huge, and he lost by a hairpin, and he helped convert the state to a purple state, regardless of what they may think. It's not a red state anymore.
The House. I mean, it was a big, significant. It was a huge down ballot.
Yeah, it was a huge down ballot. We got seats, seats were taken back. That like in Dallas and areas that seats were taken back that were held for like 25 years, 20 years, that shifted.
Well,
so when, like I said, I did the Obama stuff, like, I'm getting like lost, but like, again, it was all about aspirational. So when I was drawing, like, I started drawing Trump. Yeah. Now you talk about the Si Se Puede thing.
Right.
So the Si Se Puede thing is an uplifting thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and this was around, I did this last year when I did the commission, and I converted it and I made it into a sticker. Every time I do a show, I always sell them. Even like, it's like one of those stickers I have on there when people see my artwork and they're like, they get grossed out or they freak out or they're just like, ew, whatever. They don't like The Simpsons or they don't like those cartoons or whatever. But they see the iconic image of that. And it's like, they like that. So I always try to make sure I have stuff like that.
Well, you did one, and that's kind of, and we're going to jump into some Trump and more rabidly political stuff in a second. But you did,
ready, but
did a really nice, cool AOC Captain Marvel image.
Okay.
That I thought was like pretty aspirational. Right. And it's funny because I have an 8-year-old daughter who goes to school with your son. And
who?
With what? And those are two people that I've talked to her about, and I always try to like the woman
Captain Marvel and AOC.
Yeah, well the woman who discovered the black hole, the scientist from MIT, Katie something. I was like,
they talk about that recent one. Right?
Yeah, I was like, look at this scientist, because like it's as the father of a daughter, you don't often. Until I had a daughter, I didn't see kind of the patriarchy in clear relief as I do now.
Right. I didn't need that. I always.
Well, you've said that before.
Yeah.
But like when AOC came out and she was all fiery and she was doing, remember that dance that just drove the Republicans?
Well, the dance was. The funny thing about the dance was it was an old video that they found of her.
Oh, I'm talking about the new dance.
Well, that was in response to.
Yeah.
It was in response to an old video that was meant. The video was meant to just like insult her, and there was nothing bad about it.
It just made her so relatable and
fun.
Right, and fun.
And there's like, good job, guys. You're helping her. I mean, she's only getting death threats every day and needs security, but.
So I showed my daughter clips of AOC. I took her took the kids to see Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And you did this really nice kind of aspirational AOC
Captain Marvel.
As Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I don't know like what your process was or if that was.
I was drawing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing it as like it's two different levels.
Sure.
It's one, what was going on with Captain Marvel. Again, I wonder like where the publicity machine using negativity to sell a movie ends and where the actual negativity begins, and somewhere in the middle.
Right.
There really were trolls and really were like active like people like they'll say to me because I do a lot of political art. Obviously, we're talking about that. I'm like able to smell a troll when I see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at this point, I've gotten to the point now. I've been doing this since 2015 when I started drawing Trump, when he started running. And I could tell when I see a troll account.
Yep.
It's fucking obvious. I'm not paranoid. And I've read up on it. And it's like,
I see you call them out in your
You see a
comments
pattern.
and,
It's like, they start saying weird things. They say odd things. There's like a very there's repetition. So that was, and it's bizarre when they like go into attack mode and you see it. It's like a swarm of fucking bees.
Right.
And the Captain Marvel thing was like one of the targets.
Oh yeah.
And AOC was a target too. Well, they hate it because they hate Brie Larson.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they don't like Brie Larson because she said some stuff.
Right.
So they attack her. Whatever. Who cares? So I like her. I don't.
Oh yeah.
So, and then I like AOC.
Right.
And I want to do more. And I said, this was, and I think I premiered it after. I'm trying to remember when I did it. I'll have to go through my Instagram feed. But I reposted an old Trump drawing I did. And I said, I'm not drawing him anymore.
Yes, I remember this. This was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might have been around the same time I did the drawing. Because I did the drawing of AOC as Captain Marvel basically when it came out.
Right.
So yeah, it was only like a month ago.
Yeah.
Not even. So it was just like the timing of it. It's like I don't want to draw Trump anymore. Because I realize even the negativity elevates him.
Sure. I think there's something to that.
It's time to bring people up. And it's like I have a whole library of icons ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
When
that
someone passes,
comes,
just go to my Rolodex and say,
right.
"All right, rest in power, Don Knotts." Oh, he died a long time ago, but
right.
Yeah.
Tim Conway.
Oh, I don't have Tim Conway drawing.
Oh,
shit!
You need.
I should do a Bobby Hill as Dorf on Golf. That makes no sense because he's
the father with
the dad, the grandpa,
Hank's dad,
Dorf on Golf,
right?
Or I should. Ooh,
that's a good one.
All the kids are gonna get that reference.
Yeah, right. So,
but if you listen to this podcast, you'll get this reference. Yeah, well, all four of you.
Looking at you.
Yeah, looking at you.
Republic.
Yeah, that's right. We just discovered that we were in the what?
Yeah, we had been. We peaked at like number 29 or something in the Czech Republic.
That's. I mean, once you get into the Czech Republic,
yes, that's
you're gonna end up in like Budapest and Beirut and all the other.
Well, and we had been very big, although briefly, in Vietnam and Australia. So
that's another big one.
Crikey, yeah. I mean, Australia's a freaking continent.
Right, but I bet you were big in like the weird middle walkabout part.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we're big with the lizards that live there.
Probably
the Emotum Joe from the Mad Max. What were they called? The War Boys?
Yeah, the War Boys.
Yeah. They're one of our biggest fan groups. Yeah, the ones that live in the middle.
Well,
so the AOC thing was just like a combination of one. She's aspirational. It's like I could have just drew Captain Marvel, but why draw that when I could just draw AOC and do the combination? Because I wanted to draw AOC.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to just draw her. It's like
right.
Kind of like anyone could just draw her. I want to do something different.
No, that was a great, and it's a really cool image. I mean, it's kind of like it's so current. It's like really current because a lot of your images will take like
sometimes they don't age well.
well, no, but they'll take like iconic images from almost different generations. Like Wednesday Addams and They Live are very disparate, or
not really, because you got the movies from the 90s, and I would imagine that when people think of Wednesday Addams, they think Christina Ricci. They don't think of like the little girl from the 60s.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the case.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were both just such current things.
Yeah. And again, it's like I want to do something aspirational, but I also want to do something that I knew would. And then it's like I'm not looking to like start fights.
Right.
I don't care.
Probably.
I mean, some of it's a little funny.
Yeah. Some of your Trump images are just fantastic.
Well, it said it's like shining a light and then seeing all the cockroaches spread.
Right.
So the first, now we go to like, you said you want to talk about, the Trump thing.
Yes.
Was the first Trump drawing I did was just straight up ass face Trump.
And that got picked up
There's two different ones.
Okay.
There's the original one.
Right.
And then there's the one that's straight on. I did that later.
Okay.
That was the
better
drawing. The one that got posted on a lot more things. The first one I did got a lot of traction. I did it literally like, he gave his speech around May or when he first started running, when he went down the escalator. and he said that he was going to build a wall, and it was just like the fact that he wasn't like laughed off the stage,
right,
and like just completely ignored. Like he should have been ignored that day. Like that's where they made the biggest mistake, and they just kept the camera on him. So I was like, he's a fucking asshole. Mm-hmm. He was an asshole already before that. Like the fucked up thing is when I was younger, like I knew about him, I knew he was like a rich dickhead, but like. There was something funny about him, kind of. I could see the appeal people had of him. He was selling like a lifestyle. It's like he wasn't a normal rich guy.
He seemed like a Robin Leach type character.
Yeah, he was just selling. He was literally selling like a lifestyle. Like he's in Home Alone 2. It's like obviously he's like a whore, like a star whore. Not like. I mean, he might be a whore too. I'm not making these allegations.
Right. He was desperate for attention.
He didn't. Yeah, he wanted. Like he's been in actual movies, like there's yeah. So he had aspirations besides this being a terrible business person,
right? Yeah.
So and my wife and I watched the first couple of years of Apprentice.
Oh yeah, we did too.
We didn't know he was. I mean, there's history about him with like Essential Work 5 and all.
But that was only known.
It was known, but by the time he was doing The Apprentice, it was forgotten, and he was like a celebrity. Like, we enjoyed watching him when he was on Saturday Night Live, and we enjoyed watching The Apprentice. And
that's true.
And, the first couple of years... I remember The Onion, though, had a great article back then. It was just like, millions watch billionaire buffoon fire people.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It was like the best headline. True. And you would never think that he would have been president. So... But then, like, something happened, and I know the ratings were starting to slip, and he started doing the whole birther thing.
Yes.
And he didn't really start it. It was just one of these things that
just
started.
Something he picked up on.
And he just jumped on it, and he's always had political aspirations. There's a great documentary called Get Me Roger Stone on Netflix. Watch that. And it's like literally the blueprint for the entire Trump presidency. It's an amazing...
It's crazy.
It's like, you watch a documentary, you're just like... And the funny thing that's so fucked up about that type of character that Roger Stone is, like his stamp's all over it. He's not like hiding from it.
Oh
like,
no,
he's loving it.
Yeah.
He's loving it. Like he's not. Yeah, he's if anything, he's telling you like.
This is how we did it.
Yeah, like he's like a braggart.
Yeah,
it's not
he's like the James Bond villain.
Yeah,
they can't help but to like elaborately detail his plan.
Yeah, and then Bond's already figured out how to cut out and jump away at that point. Except the laser.
In this instance,
we let Bond was listening and forgot to cut, and the laser cut him in half.
Returned his report to the Attorney General, who summarized it into 4 pages, and then that's the end. So he started the birtherism thing, and so I knew he was an asshole at that point. Yeah,
and he was on Fox a lot. He was definitely trying to get more involved with politics. He said he was going to run in 2011. That went away. And, he did the, what was it, the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
I remember that.
And Obama eviscerated him.
In front of everyone.
In front of everyone. He eviscerated him. It was like the funniest thing. I mean, he made fun of his hair. Like, Obama was like, my God, if whoever debates him in 2020 should just let Obama step in for like 5 minutes and eviscerate him.
Yeah.
And then leave and give it back to whoever it is, the candidate, and then Obama would be like, and Obama could be like, vote for this person.
Yeah, right.
But they should just let him eviscerate because no one could do it unlike Obama, and but that whole time he was doing the birther thing.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and then he did that thing where he's going to build a wall, and he said the thing about Mexican people.
He didn't say all.
He said they're rapists. Yeah. They're they're going to kill us. He said, not all of them, but some.
Right.
Some. I mean,
but everyone you see.
It's pretty much a straight racist. I mean, like
it's not even a dog whistle. It's a straight
it's a fucking bullhorn. I mean, at this point. So whenever I always love when the comments, whenever I put up a Trump art, they go, how is he racist? Or they'll send me a photo of him with, like, Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but again, he's a star whore.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if he...
people don't get that.
Like he's a star fucker. Like, he wants to...
Right.
The only reason why he's in that photo with Muhammad Ali is because Muhammad Ali is Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was just some dude...
Cassius Clay.
Who was nobody.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in that fucking photo with them. You'd be kicking him out of his fucking apartment.
Yeah. They'd put like a little C on their application and the guy'd never get in the apartment.
Yeah, so when I drew this picture, I drew a picture of him with an ass face, and I said, why should I do... I'm just going to draw him as literally a butthole. He had little butthole lips, like his lips spinning out, and little teeth, and it's a disgusting image. And, you know, I thought when I did it, I'm like, it's a little crass, but I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
And I know, like, people say, like, oh, this is like juvenile or whatever. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, why should I make something smart?
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot.
Right.
He's saying terrible things.
This doesn't warrant a lot of thought.
He's an ass. He's literally speaking out of his ass, and he's playing literally to not even just the cheap seats. He's playing to like the parking lot. Like he's, you know, that term, like playing. I mean, he's. Yeah, so I just did a whole bunch of different drawings. So then I did like a better one, and then I started doing a whole series of different Trump drawings. Beginning, they literally was just the ass. Yeah. And I would just make it more repulsive. And more disgusting as it went along. Like, I mean, I did like one where like, I made them, so I did one at when he did the convention speech. Okay. And I just had him where like shit was just coming out. Literal just like, I mean, being graphic here, literally just straight up terrorists. Right. There's no...
Yeah, not a lot of subtext.
It doesn't deserve it. And I'd get people who would be like, and it wasn't that bad. Like the trolls, like in that then, you'd get some people, and I get some people who'd be like, well, when are you going to draw Hillary? I'm like, I don't want to draw Hillary. Yeah. Like, why? Like, you go draw her.
Yeah.
I mean, I did draw some pictures of Hillary, but not like I said, it didn't generate the excitement. Like I said, whoever runs against him, better damn well. Yeah, the inspiration where people want to wear a shirt. I know that sounds really stupid, but it's not. Like, I don't think so. There is a psychology and science to it, and like,
well, look, they said, and there's a decent body of work that said that Trump. A lot of people were predicting Trump would win, and this was when nobody was predicting Trump would win
in 2016.
Yeah, but there were some people that were predicting Trump would win because of the amount of merchandise he sold, and they were just saying, "Look, he's generous."
No one's wearing a Marco Rubio shirt.
Right. No one wore Jeb shirts.
Jeb was boring as fuck. You know, it's like, there's a reason why, it's like, sorry, Jeb, there's a reason why your brother became president. As horrible as George W. Bush was, I could see the appeal. Oh, yeah. There's no appeal when it comes to Jeb.
No. Like, I mean, look, is the guy intellectual or not? I mean, I don't know. I don't like any of his policy ideas. But, like, of the two, you would have thought that Jeb would have been had the stronger claim to the throne, but
he was considered the smart one. Clearly, he wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
He, it's like Trump. Like, everyone was like, "Oh, Trump easily beat everybody." All the candidates, he beat them all, and I'm like, yeah, but the media was giving him a constant attention. Yeah, they were like, he would give a speech, and then they would just put the camera on an empty. What do you call it?
Right. You're talking about when he would not show up at a debate and
like he wouldn't show up, or he'd be like, Trump's about to come out, and they would just have the camera on an empty seat for like 2 hours. Like, he would purposely make him wait. Yeah,
and a lot of media people kind of fed into that.
Yeah, but they were making money, and my fear is that they're going to do it again.
Well,
they secretly want him to win. That's the fucked up thing.
Oh yeah, I think that's true.
I think the media. And I'm not saying because they like his policies, even though I think the corporate masters do.
No, but it keeps them in business. They
want that. They want the endless nightmare. Yeah. Because the endless nightmare gives them great ratings.
It does.
But it can be self-destructive, too. Because who the fuck knows what he... it's like you still have to have a system.
Yeah, that's real true.
You still have to have, like, a society, and it's like... So I've been doing these drawings for a long time, and then after a while, I react to it. I would do them to the point where it would just get a good reaction. Right. Like, one of my favorite ones I did was after Trump was like president for a little, like, I'm trying to think when. No, he was already president for like a year. It was when the Obama painting came out. Okay. The Kay Handel painting. Yes. And it was like unlike any other presidential painting.
It's really beautiful.
It is. It's an amazing painting. there's like a story behind it, like
Yep.
why Obama's like
Yeah, there's
he's
like
sitting there,
artifacts and symbols in it.
yeah, it all represents like where where he's really from.
Right,
Just
his
kidding.
address.
Yeah, no, but like Hawaii, the flower, and then like in like the way he's sitting and everything, and it's just like super modern and
Yeah,
unlike
very
any
cool.
other. Like I said, so I did one super quick that night.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not as detailed
Sure.
or as beautiful as. I don't have a giant studio space, and I think he probably spent more than 3 hours on his.
Probably
spent
sure.
Yeah. So I did one with him where instead of like flowers, and it's a similar pose,
Yeah.
he's sitting on a golden toilet. People were like, "How come his pants aren't down?" I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not boring. He's got a flap.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's shitting his pants, and he's holding his phone. And he's holding a cheeseburger or a Big Mac in the other hand, and instead of like flowers, it's just like McDonald's wrappers.
Yeah.
All different colors, so it's beautiful.
Right.
All the different, like yellow and the light green and the light blue. All the different flavors.
Yeah.
It's not just the yellow.
Right.
It's a rainbow of
Like a
McDonald's
bag
garbage.
Of Skittles, but McDonald's garbage.
Yeah, McDonald's garbage scattered everywhere. Of course, in the background, a little secret, I have a little jar of hooker piss. I've used that as a running theme. The hooker piss.
Right.
So, and that got a great reaction, and like I started getting like celebrities like following me from that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say names.
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
It doesn't rhyme with Yobi.
Right.
or Yat Willen or any other. Yeah.
Well, that's cool because, then, that's. We talk about when we talk about we won seats or whatever. You and I are both liberal or whatnot.
Yeah.
But you feel like images like that are part of the struggle, like that they're actually affecting some sort of change. I
don't know if they do shit. It's more for my own. You're talking about does it? It's like I think it's not. I don't think it's going to change anyone's minds. My artwork.
I don't know. I think. Look, I think that it could. I think it could change someone's life.
I hope.
Right?
I just think that there are people who, and this is what I've learned. I said the same thing about Bush, but I would say this seals the deal even more. And this is really about how Republicans are versus Democrats.
Yeah.
Republicans get in line. If that's the candidate,
they all gather around.
They all gather around.
That's true.
They don't because the policy. There's 3 things they want done, and they don't give a fuck. And Trump has proven that already. Trump has proven, George W. Bush. There's, he was supposedly born again in theory, but it's like.
Remember when everyone freaked out that he had a DUI when he was 17 or something?
Well,
George W. Bush.
He was
can you imagine
wasn't he
that
like
now?
a cokehead? And like an unresolved alcoholic. He didn't go through the 12-step program. He still, they said there was still remember when he choked on a pretzel?
Oh yeah.
Supposedly, the rumor was he was drunk.
Oh
yeah, there was all.
Yeah.
Fuck, if I was president, regardless of shit or not,
right.
I'd be
eating fish brownies in the
watching Monster, watching Christina Ricci's head grow.
Get me the Secretary of Defense.
Christina Ricci's head is growing. Do you eat those brownies again?
Mr. President.
Stop watching that movie.
Yeah. All right, so let me shift gears just a little bit. We don't have to talk about this in great depth or we don't have to talk about it at all. But you have all this stuff, and we talked about these. In my head, that's kind of the progression. Oh yeah.
Well, hold on. I was going to finish up one thing.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
No, yeah. This may tie into that. But
okay.
Go
all
ahead.
Right. So I was doing these pictures, and I think that the Trump stuff really, to me, in my mind, peaked when Putin and him had that Helsinki meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
Where if and this was some of the funny things they said, Robert Mueller is investigating or something. I think the Barwitz report and the Onion made jokes and said that basically he was colluding on stage with Putin.
Yes.
So it's
what's there to investigate?
Yeah, what's to investigate? He's doing it right there for the world to see. He was literally siding with them on everything.
Yeah.
And I made some artwork. I posted some old artwork, because I did a shirt for Anti-Flag, where Trump is being nursed by Putin.
Oh,
and Putin
yeah.
is feeding him urine, and it's dribbling down his chin. It's a classic. And the thing that always is so funny about it, we talked about it when we made the shirt. We had the flag in the background, but instead of stars, we used the the USSR symbol.
Sure.
And I had all these people who get super angry at me.
Really?
They're like, why are you using this? I'm like, because he was former, and they would get real fucking crazy. And I'm like, okay, you're a fucking troll.
Yeah.
Like, no, you are, because like, calm the fuck down.
Right.
And it's because he was KGB.
Yeah.
And also because a party that has been so against the Russians since before I was born. I mean, they literally had witch hunts on communists and witch hunts on anything Russian.
Yep.
From like since after World War II and pre-World War II.
Yeah, it was like during World War II. They were like
anything communist, like anything Russian and related. And all of a sudden now they're okay with it.
Yeah.
So it was like a comment on that. It wasn't like, oh duh, like I know they don't use that symbol anymore.
Right.
I'm not a freaking idiot. But like out of these people who were saying this shit, I'm just like, okay, I don't know where you're getting from. And, and I'll go on their account. Sometimes they're like, there's like a picture of a car and it's 631 fucker or something. Or
they have like
there's like several there's ways to find out how people are trolls. I figured one is call them like dank memers, and they just have like these repetitive memes.
Yeah,
and this is actually no fact, and it's like there's no origin or who the fuck this person is. And then there's like, or it's just like pictures of cars.
Yeah.
Or there's pictures, or it's like weird, just 6 photos. Or there's like, or it's private. It's a private account.
Yeah.
Which is like which is a random kid in the picture. And it really escalated around that time. And my wife was having surgery at the time, so it was like, she had like a major surgery in her neck. So while that was going on, I was like, that Helsinki, because that happened like when she was disinserted. Like I was like watching it on the TV, and I was like, oh god. So, and then I was like posting stuff, and I would get all these like crazy trolls on my page, like saying all kinds of fucked up shit, or getting really defensive, saying like you're being Russian phobic, really fucking bizarre, very odd things. I'm like things that I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not American.
Right.
I would make a joke like, what's the weather like in Moscow?
Yeah.
You know, like, or I had people who were following me for a while who would leave comments, and then they would start, and then around that time they started getting really bizarre and saying very specific things, and I was like, holy shit, this was not. And then I'd get some people like, oh, you're gonna call me a troll or say I'm a Russian, you're gonna say that about me, Rob, and I'll be like, I guess, sure. Fuck off. I had somebody who did that to me recently. They like said he went to like UNT Tex or something, and he wasn't even following me. Yeah, because I posted in a story that said he was calling me like a fascist, which I think is hysterical. Yeah, it's like you are the one who likes Trump, his policies. Right, you're a fucking fascist. Get the fuck out of here. And
that was a weird one.
That was super bizarre. And I saw he wasn't even following me anyway. I don't know if he was following before.
It was
and. So he said, how quickly will Rob block me? And I wrote 1 minute. But so that was crazy around that time. And then the last thing that I did that wasn't even a picture of Trump. Mm-hmm. It was that stupid kid, the MAGA hat kid.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The MAGA hat thing.
Right, yeah.
And that day I saw that, and I just did a really quick drawing of him.
As a dick.
Well, I just gave him I drew his face.
Sure.
And it just said MAGA douche on the hat.
Yeah.
And instead of a neck, he just had a hairy shaft.
Yeah.
That just descended down to the...
Right.
So I didn't really... I just drew it.
No, it could have been like a Geiger-esque...
With a weird neck.
Yeah,
just a weird neck. He's got some hairs and veins. It's gross, He's... I don't know. I don't understand what the big deal was. Yeah, but I'm like, God, that one. Yeah. Dude, did you see the video? Yeah. And it was like a swarm of bees. Like I said, and actually I read up on it. It was like a huge campaign. Everything about that was bizarre.
Oh yeah, that was a bizarre. We live in bizarre times.
That one was the most bizarre one because they were saying like, oh well, if you see the full video, and of course you see people like Rogan and stuff, they were defending the kid too, and I'm like, okay, listen, regardless of the story, regardless of what went down, The kid was
Kid's
wearing
so-
that
yeah.
fucking hat.
Yeah, that's
the problem right there. Who cares?
It is.
Remove everything. If the Native American went up to him, or if they went up to him, or those crazy.
No, I agree.
You know, he's still wearing that hat. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, again, in 10 years or 20 years, depending on where we are, like we talked about earlier with the Pepe, the hat is going to go down in history. Is a fucking hate.
Yeah,
it is a hate symbol.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are gonna be like, well, what's wrong with making America great again? I'm like, I wish there was nothing wrong with it, but there's a context. It's all about the messenger,
right?
You know,
well, there's a context clue. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean,
it's calling for a time that never existed, that is fabricated, but you're asking us to go back to a time that predates rights for people.
It's crazy. Yeah, like, so, I mean, like, you can look, I used to teach history, and there's a lot to like about the 1950s, but only from the perspective of, like, me being a white male, you know? I mean, like, there's a lot of, like, horrible, awful things that were happening then.
I mean, there's some good music, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure, you know? Sure.
Diners. Pictures of diners and,
right?
you know, if you like Happy Days.
Yeah.
I always like that one episode of Happy Days when Styx, remember Styx?
No.
It was Richie's black friend for one episode.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
That's when we learned and resolved racism.
Yeah, well, that was a good that didn't take long.
No, one episode in Happy Days, and they did it. Good job, guys.
Bam, Obama.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
right, that's how I knew it was solved.
Actually, Styx was Obama.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. They look nothing alike, or or like a 30-year age difference. So after doing that, drawing that, and I was just like, okay, I was just like getting inundated by fucking trolls. Like, I still to this day get comments about that drawing. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken down yet. I'm sure if anyone's listening to this, you know, one, there's nothing wrong with the drawing.
No.
It's just the kid's face.
Yeah.
Well, it's a smirking douchebag. Yeah, it was weird. It was super weird. And you know, and like I said, then I posted that drawing that I posted before of Trump covered in the Nazi tattoos.
Right.
I did that one as a reaction to Charlottesville.
Yeah.
That was another one. That's when I got inundated by not actual Nazis.
Right, like literal,
Yeah, like people where it's like you go to their account and they have like a German flag from like the 40s. So not even swastikas, but just like straight up like different symbols. Or, you know, they would just make little comments about me.
Right.
Or,
yeah.
So like I just decided, I'm like, you know what? So until he's indicted.
Right.
Well, I did do an April Fool's joke. Where I drew him and I said Orange Man good. Orange Man good. Because I would get the trolls that would leave comments saying Orange Man bad. Which I was like, okay, so you're at this point now where you can't even defend him.
Yeah, they're just...
So you're insulting, your context is to like insult the
people that are insulting him. I mean, I get the dynamic.
Pathetic attempt, but you have no defense of him. So you're basically saying you're an asshole. Like
a lot of it's like real. I mean, juvenile's the right word, but it's like high schoolish kind of.
Yeah. Like it's just like, oh wow, what an original idea you did. You're such a genius. Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, I just want to do more aspirational things. No, until he's indicted or eats like a ton of hamburgers and explodes. Monty Python, meaning a lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, that might not be too far off.
Maybe.
Either.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think so.
All right. So let me shift gears here, and I had some other. That was, and I guess let me summarize before moving on. That was again. That's by no means the breadth of your work. I mean,
but it's definitely occupied a lot of it.
But like the images we just talked about from the Lou Reed Transformer to. I mean, I think that's like. Would you say that that's like maybe not a good summarization of the work, but that if someone were to look at those 5 or 6 images, they'd get a rough sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think you know, definitely the Rick and Morty and the Simpsons stuff with the monsters with the teeth and eyes. I mean, that just started for me one day, just wanting to do that. I drew a Darth Vader skull, and then I wanted to do something different, and I was just thinking of like skater, like Santa Cruz style and like different things, but just bring my own look to it.
Oh yeah. Those are cool.
Just started making like monsters out of the characters, where like And the Star Wars helmets were the best ones because of like they're so segmented and like they're like every part of them is like a shape. So each part of the shape would be like almost like a creature on that was like infused with another creature. Yeah. So I'd like try to like do like different. It would be like multiple characters kind of like merged into like a face. And I do that a lot, so I get well known for doing that. So when people have me do pet portraits and stuff like that. Right. They'll have me do that to their pets.
Well, that's actually next on my list. Okay. Is that like I wanted to, and I don't want to get into like the details of it, but I wanted to talk.
It has
about
nothing to do with Trump.
Oh no, but like how you like monetize your work, because I think I talk to some people and they do art. Again, like
I don't know, it's like a tough thing. Like people for years I always thought it was galleries, and except for that Meltdown show, right, and like one other thing, I never saw a damn thing in a gallery. Yeah, I did like an art show in Chico. I didn't sell anything. I put some stuff up here and there. I got done some shows early on when I moved to Dallas. I sold like one thing out of it.
So you're primarily like direct consumer.
Everybody online. Yeah, I sell artwork online. I don't use galleries. I don't use. Right. I mean, I would like to use it, but I just feel like it's like, and this sounds so fucked up. It's not an insult to anybody, but like, I was talking to like one gallery, and there was like a piece that I would sell for like $300. Right. And he's like, "Well, I would sell it for $600." I'm like, "You could get someone to pay $600 for it." Yeah. But I felt like guilty because I'm like, well, one, I'm only gonna get $300 anyway.
Right, because he'll take the other $300. Right.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, why don't I just charge $300
and sell it off by
and like, or maybe they'll buy two from me.
Right.
Or or two, or 200 or whatever. It doesn't matter. There's no like I get paid immediately. I'm the one that ships it. I'm the one that sends it to them. Yeah. And it's quicker. It's a quicker process. You can deal with galleries. You can be waiting months for your money. You can be waiting and then again, I'm not saying that I'm against it. I just had I've had zero success. I had no.
Well, I think there's something in, and again, I'm a layperson. I'm not like I'm certainly not an artist, and I didn't go to school for art or anything. I know art in the sense that I like actively read about it. Like I go to museums and I have artists I like and artists I kind of all that. But I think there's something really cool, like in the modern sense of being able to talk with the artist that did the work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I have a friend in Florida, Margaret Baker, who did a little picture of Pixie, and I love the picture anyway, the painting anyway. But the idea that even if I didn't know Margaret as a person, that I could text her or tweet her and she'd tweet me back. And I think that's so awesome. And,
we're at a different age now. People from I've had people from Australia, Germany, England.
Probably Vietnam and the Czech Republic.
Yeah, if I haven't yet, I will now, thanks to this podcast.
but that's so cool because
I wish we knew something in Czech we could say.
Yeah, right. But and then I know this girl Heather, and she has a website Heathery-ish, and she does stuff, and a big part of her appeal is she'll talk to people, and I think that's so valuable. Oh, and I wanted to mention this May up in Brooklyn. She does, and so much of it is relationship, and I don't want to say approachability. It's not like you're going out for beers with these people that are buying your artwork, but they communicate with you, and that's such an added value to the piece. You're not going to get that at a gallery.
I mean, unless you're there. Yeah. But I'm usually some of these galleries is unless they're going to fly me out there, right? I'm not going to have any interaction with these people. No. I mean, unless it's in Dallas or something. I mean, there's... Right. And the other thing, too, is I don't make, it's I make personal art for people or I make artwork that can hang, but I don't make, these grand... I feel like galleries, you have to have pieces that are huge. Yeah, yeah. And, when they walk in, that's what they see. And they see something else. And I don't make pieces like that. I just don't. Maybe it's the time I put in, or I just want to work on so many different things and come up with different things. And because my main image is going on Instagram, which is a little square, right? I mean, again, it's I'm not knocking. I see artists that make amazing giant paintings.
Yeah.
That's just not something I do. And
Right.
should I? Yeah, I probably should have.
Yeah,
but,
well, I mean, whatever.
you know, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just everyone's got their find how they do things. The fact that I've made any money or sold any art over, I mean, like I said, I have never sold as much art in my life as I've done in this past 4 or 5 years with social media, Instagram, and Facebook, and like that never was an option. Like,
Right.
I saw some drawings years ago on Etsy. That
Sure.
was super random.
Yeah.
I was drawing like jackalopes at the time. And like,
Those were some of your first images
Yeah.
on your Instagram.
Yeah, because those were old ones, and I just put them
Right.
up. And it was like a whole series of jackalopes, which is kind of like, back then people would say, the 3 people I talked to,
Right,
they'd
right.
be like, oh, why are you
He's
doing
the
jackalope?
jackalope
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And some guys like, you should do a jackalope, but with 3 eyes. But
Yeah,
with 3 eyes.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I would do different jackalopes as different things.
Right.
And like I did Breaking Bad jackalopes, and I did like fucking Pagliacci the clown.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like real weird
Right,
shit.
yeah.
I do like skeletons, and I did like army ones, and I've sold like most of them.
Yeah.
And it was all pencil work. I don't draw in pencil. I do everything in ink now. I just draw straight up in Micron.
That was actually one of the other questions. You use Micron as a brand name, I'm guessing? Or
It's
is that
the pen. Sakura is the brand.
Okay.
I like free shit, Sakura.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. So that's like a Japanese, it sounds Japanese.
Yeah.
Sakura.
Yeah. And the Microns, they have a bunch of different products, but Micron is like their pens, and I use those.
I think honestly, I think I bought a package of them and gave them to that May, who does work up in Brooklyn, like years ago.
Yeah.
She was a student of mine. I taught high school.
Okay.
And they were real slick. They had it was a little 6-pack, and they had different millimeter sizes or something.
I used to use pitagraphs, and they were very expensive, and they got very, very expensive, and they were tedious. They would leak, and I don't know, for some reason I always used those because somebody told me in high school that's what the professionals use. But then I learned years later, people were like, why don't you just use Microns?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I was like so stubborn. I was like, no, I can use it. And then I started using them. They're fucking
artist, damn it.
No, I'm stupid. Microns are amazing because they don't leak.
Right.
And they wear out after a while, but they're only like $3 versus like $25, and you have to like they're cleaning, and if you bend them, oh my god, it's a fucking nightmare. Like, I don't want to tell you, cleaning a pitagraph is like, it's not worth it. So you might as well be airbrushing at that point, using an airbrush gun.
Yeah.
So I just started using them, and I wasn't even penciling anymore.
Right.
And I just started doing straight drawings, which, there might be some errors in there. Happy trees. Like Bob Ross said, little happy mistakes, little happy accidents.
Right.
That's fine. If I bring it to the computer, I can always fix those happy accidents.
Yeah.
But the original might have some little flaws in it, which is fine.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, it is. That's yeah.
But if people are like, oh, you should videotape yourself drawing, and I'm like, well, I mean, I got to set it up, but like,
right.
I don't. Sometimes I don't sit there and just draw straight like through a drawing. I'm not going to sit there and do like a full drawing. I might do like here, and I might come back later. Do the other part, or think about it, or look at my fucking phone because I'm addicted, or watch TV or whatever.
That's funny. Yeah.
So it's like, so to get to the point, like, the way I'm doing things is not traditional. It's not what an artist is told to do. It's not like do I wish I got more into galleries? Yeah, I mean, I think people would know me more in like artist community.
Sure. But
social media is just like such a different game changer. And I'm at a different place in my life. I'm like, it's like I'm already technically middle-aged. I mean, like, but I feel like I'm really just starting. And like, because I was doing work my whole life. I've been drawing since I was a little kid. And I've been working in like the industry. Like I worked at Trauma.
Yeah,
for, like,
that's cool.
And then I did a cartoon for them. And then I worked at all different things. And I got into apparel. So it just kind of like and eventually I started doing my own thing.
Right.
But the Instagram thing, like I said, the people reacting, it got me doing more. It's like it went from doing a drawing once in a while to just doing a drawing every day. And that's pretty much what I do now. It's like I just draw every day, and sometimes I'm drawing for other people, or I'm drawing for myself.
That's cool.
I'm at a point now where I'm hoping I'm drawing for other people because
right.
that's what pays the bills.
Well, that leads me. I have two more questions, and I put like I don't know how much I'll say I put thought into it.
Okay.
But I guess my first question is that I've always had this theory, with artists, and I don't mean like artists like art. I mean like with singers or novelists or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of novels. I love to read them, and often I'll read Cormac McCarthy, right? He's written a dozen books or so, and they all kind of seem like the same book over and over again. In a good way. I'm not knocking the guy at all, but it seems like he has something he wants to say, and he doesn't quite know what it is, and he keeps trying to say it over and over again. And when he gets it right, he'll stop. You know what I mean? Do you feel there's any truth? When you draw, I know the Wednesday Addams things, it happened to be Wednesday, and but there's certainly motifs in your work.
Well, I was drawing the monster thing where I would turn a character into a monster and do different ways of that.
Do you feel like there's some ineffable thing in you that you're trying to communicate or reveal to yourself, or that sounds?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think some of it has to do with the fact that I worked in licensing, I worked in apparel for 15 years, and I would react to trends, and I was used to doing groups. Everything, you couldn't just do one. You had to do groups. Yeah. And it used to irritate the shit out of me. But now that's my own thing. I'm like, cool. Yeah. And, and I just again, if I'm enjoying doing it, it's okay, well, I like this, but I also like this. I'm going to draw like this like that. I like this too, so I'm going to draw this like that too. And, it runs a cycle.
If you come back to a Wednesday Addams, and you've done 50 of them, on the 50th Wednesday Addams...
the world explodes.
Well, no, I would suspect, my theory is that you're still discovering something new about that, the recurring. I think
it's just the things that I like combining with it. Yeah. And when I'm running it, the things become thin, and the ideas aren't funny anymore. Right. Or if I'm not getting a good reaction, if I'm not enjoying it anymore. Right. I move on.
And if you haven't moved on, you're still enjoying it. I mean, maybe it's just that simple.
Or I'm drawing other things and I come back to it. Right. I take a break. So the monster thing, I think the monster thing definitely elevated me, though. Yeah. The monster thing, it's a weird combination. It's so people would say, I'm not talking about Trump anymore. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, people would say things why do you do that? You're aren't you hurting your business? Aren't you losing followers? And I'm well, maybe. I don't think so. I think the people that I lost as followers, it's very rare, not to say they mean anything to me if they bought something from me, but it's very rare they even bought anything from me to begin with. Sure. Or it's okay, well, if you're following me, you're probably following me just to hate on me when I post something from Trump. Yeah. I never see you comment or like my shit when I don't draw a political thing, but when I draw a political thing, all of a sudden you come out of the fucking dirt and you're there. So you're clearly sitting there waiting for me to draw something like that. Right. So it's a weird thing. It's I don't know. Maybe who knows? I might have lost some work from it. I might have lost some opportunities. It's even
just as easily gained.
Yeah. or gained some kind of respect or whatever. Because there are people, even if they don't like him, they themselves don't want to offend anyone or do anything that might offend someone. So they don't want to be attached to anybody that might have offended anyone. Which to me is okay, if you want to operate like that, that's fine. Right. I mean, you either don't have that strong of an opinion, or I could respect that. I mean, that's fine, but it's possible. But I think where I am and the followers I have, I think it has a lot to do with getting reposted a lot by celebrities, getting reposted by big things because of all the different things I've done. Right.
It's the body of work. It's the total body.
I'll get reposted by horror sites because of the Wednesday stuff. I'll get reposted by psychedelic artists and different accounts, and getting jobs from different accounts, and because of all the crazy monster psychedelic art, or the political stuff, I'll get reposted by famous people or just regular day people who are just angry. One of my biggest ones wasn't even a Trump one. It was the thoughts and prayers.
It was
the middle fingers. It was the thoughts and prayers written on the middle fingers with the end in the middle. Right, and that got fucking reposted,
Yeah.
retweeted, of course, without credit.
Well, yeah, of course.
I had, this is the big one.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk about that. The biggest thing ever, one of the things that drove me insane, if it's not the tattoo,
yeah.
it was, to this day, it was the Women's March, not this year, but the year before.
Yes.
And I've told you this, but I'm telling it now again. Somebody showed it to me. They said, your shit's on Vice.
Right.
And I'm like, and your shit's on Rolling Stones. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I found it on there, and it was like a woman holding a sign, and it was my ass face Trump.
Yeah.
Not the first one, the second one that's like a better
Right.
image. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did you get such a big image of that?
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It could be
Who
like
do you use for your printing?
well, it must have been a shitty, either they took it from my Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah, blew it up.
I don't know, but from the photo from the distance, not distance, but
Sure.
it's not like super zoomed in crisp. I mean, the thing could look like garbage. I have no
Yeah.
idea. The fact was, I got super irritated because it was just like, all right, listen, I'm for the cause, obviously.
Right.
Would have been nice if I got some credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would have been life-changing.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, all the Vices.
And Vice, yeah.
All the Vice. It wasn't, the Vice has like different accounts.
Sure.
Then there was these other political accounts that it was airing on, these women's groups.
Yeah.
And it was all these, and it was that woman holding the sign. I'm not mad at that woman.
No, of course, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even care. I'm mad at the fucking photographer. I got in touch with him.
Right.
And I said, can you credit me? And
Yeah,
of
well-
course he didn't respond to me.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, I had people, like hundreds of people go on Rolling Stones page saying, credit Rob Israel.
Yeah.
Credit Rob Israel. On their Instagram. Like, if you look,
Sure.
you could find that image, it's still there, and you can see the Instagram, you can see all the comments, it's all these people. I emailed Rolling Stone, I said, listen, I'm not even looking for money.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking credit.
Right.
Like something.
Yeah.
No reaction. That would have been life changing.
Yeah,
so that's why I always say, tag and credit the artist, because
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's the least you can do. And it's just the right thing to... It takes so little effort to do the right thing that... Yeah.
I mean, it's a different story. Like right now, there's an artist I know. I'm not going to say the name or the company, but he's having like a problem right now because he did some street art and the car was company that makes beep beeps cars. I'm not gonna name it. They posted. They were using it in their artwork. His artwork in the background.
Yeah. Right.
And he has lawyers involved, but that's different.
Yeah.
Because they're making money, and this was different.
Yeah.
This is different because it's a movement. And like I said, I wasn't expecting money. I just wanted people to know, like, hey, that's my art, and if you're interested, hit me up. Or like, hey, Rolling Stones, maybe if you like that, you could have me do some artwork for you. I'd be down to do it. It could have been life changing.
Yeah.
It was like one of those, what the fuck? That to this day is still like.
Oh yeah, that would eat at me. Yeah.
It was insane, and I don't know. I had people claiming that they were like selling shirts of it, or I'm just like, hey, listen, if people want to wear shirts of that,
Sure.
more power to them.
Yeah.
I have it on my Society 6 store.
Yeah.
And I think it's butt face Trump or something. It's pretty blunt, but people have bought it.
Well, I've bought 2 shirts. One from
The ass face Trump?
No, I did not. But I have from both from TeePublic, and one was my wife bought from you a picture of me and my dog Harry monstered up, which I love. Yeah. And I bought a shirt version of that.
And I put it on the store, yeah.
Yeah.
And I squeezed another $2 out of you.
It's nice.
Hold on.
And then
I was like, you could go to my TeePublic and
And then I got the artwork you did for our They Live episode. Yes. Which was, I love that.
And again, I squeezed another $2 at you, so thanks for the coffee. Thanks for the coffee.
It's almost a latte.
Almost.
Yeah, right. Well, I've worn that shirt out a couple times, and
it came out good.
And it's everyone's commented on it and complimentary of it, and that's a real sharp one. All right, my last question.
Okay.
So at some point, you quit your day job, and you're like, I'm going all in on art. Yeah. Right. And I always have this theory that like some people make decisions based on their head and other people make decisions based on their heart. And it's like that Tin Man scarecrow. You know how like
I was raised, unfortunately, I definitely was raised more on the brain part, not the heart, because I would have done it a long time ago. Right. If I wasn't like at a point where like I would never have quit my job if I wasn't at like, I mean, I would say the fucked up thing was I probably was doing better back then. Sure. I was dealing with some art, like some musicians back then. Right. You know, there was just, And Instagram, they have this algorithm that just fucks with me constantly. They've done a really massive disservice to creatives. The thing that escalated the thing that grows their platform makes them cool. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. You know, in their mind, all it takes is one fucking tweet from a Kardashian who has 100 million followers, and her one tweet versus me getting excited if I got 3,000 likes on something. Right. I mean, that's not even like, again, that's like us getting excited about being 72nd in the middle of the boonies of the moon or something. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, so in Instagram's mind, they're probably like,
right,
what the fuck? Like, you know, it's like it reminded me of like when I worked for licensing and we would deal with these, like, some of the worst companies to deal with were like, well, maybe I'm not going to name names. But anything that was involved with apps. Yeah, I could see in their line, T-shirts were promotional. Right. So they weren't very crazy about us doing, like, very artistic things. Because in their mind, they're like, well, okay,
that's a means
you generate maybe like $15,000 in royalties in like a 6-month period for us, let's say, right?
Right.
If a well-selling shirt, it might generate the most, let's just say 100,000. I have no idea. I'm throwing a number out there.
Yeah.
Even if it makes $1 million, well, guess what? If that app is actually successful, they made that $1 million in that afternoon.
Yeah.
It's not even like the fact that they're even doing it. It's like, is it even worth their time? It's clearly just for promotional. That's how they view it.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe that's how Instagram sees us. It's like, you know, Kevin Hart or Beyonce or Kim Kardashian, one of them could just tweet The Rock. They got like 123 million followers. They put one thing on Instagram. Guess what? It gets like, the funniest thing was the egg. Remember the egg?
Yeah.
The egg beat out Kendall Jenner.
Right.
What did it get? Like, it was like 200 million likes or something insane.
I tried to help. Yeah.
Did you feel good?
Yeah, because
it's amazing that they did it. It's very funny. Yeah. I feel like that. I really think we're going to learn that they did not just do that. There was some rigging the system.
Yeah, there's a video like that on YouTube where the ratio...
Gaming the algorithm or whatever?
Yeah, well, no, people think that YouTube is doing it as a joke. I forget what the video is.
YouTube is doing it as a joke?
Yeah, I forget what the video is, but it's a video explaining, like, the impossibility of being truly neutral on something, and the ratio has always been 50-50. And now it's got like millions of likes, and they're like almost identical. They're never off by one or and it's like statistically improbable that it would be that way. And I got to look it up to verify that I'm not making this up. Yeah. But people said that YouTube has literally gone in there and gamed the likes for this one video.
It's possible. I mean, I know Trump and the conservatives were making claims about Google.
Sure.
Because I think if you looked up idiot or something, Trump came up as
come on. Second. If you look up hot, you'll see fire.
It's like, they said they were trying to explain to them, no, the way
how it works.
What the algorithm works is that, people in your cabinet called you a fucking idiot. Yeah. And thousands of newspapers and blogs are reporting the person calling you an idiot. Yeah. Well, guess what? There's a reason why you're now the top search for idiot. It's like...
And it just makes sense,
But Instagram is fucking artists now because they want us to pay for things.
Yeah.
Or they shadow ban you, so I have to be really careful what I put up there.
Right.
And I try not to put too much ass-face Trumps on there because I don't want to get fucking shadow banned. But, and I'm not stupid. I know that if I put certain keywords in my caption, like buy, contact, DM me.
Yeah.
I will be pushed down.
Yes, I've heard.
And they do it.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
I know that's true.
And they're doing it even more now than ever. They're doing it now to I know supposedly things that have racy images.
Sure.
They call it they say they used a
community standards or something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm if I use keywords, and it drives me insane because it's I get less likes now on my stuff, and I'm not being it's I had less followers back then, but I had more likes. I had more followers than I ever did.
And fewer likes.
It doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure some people, you get to a point where people like your stuff, or they're following you because they want you to follow them. They're doing follow. And those people will eventually, after a week or maybe even a day,
they'll unfollow you.
Yeah, and that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Everybody does it. And,
sure.
I don't, though. I'm perfect. So to go back to, like, that decision I made, it just got to a point in my life where it's like I wasn't enjoying what I was doing.
Right.
I didn't get along with
Sure.
It's just, you butt heads with people. I didn't like the direction things were going. I don't like the direction how retail was going. You know, things were changing. Things are out of your control.
Right.
You can make the best art. It's like I could make the best kids' clothes lining that year, and it wouldn't have made a difference because so many things were out of my control.
Right.
With like sales and buyers, that even if I like had the best or worst, I was not getting in the store because we didn't have like a thing. So I was like, and then I was kind of turned off from it, and I was getting success in my own stuff, and I also wanted to be home for my kid. And it's like too much on my wife. My wife works too, so it's like, but she worked from home.
Yeah.
But so she gets designated stuck, and then her parents are getting old, and it's just like all these different things in life. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. And I was already like I'm not one of those people that's one day like, oh, right. You know, I didn't just quit out of the blue. It was like a year. Me, and I was finding like that right golden moment. And
and then you did.
Yeah, and you know, there's always days where I'm like, fuck. You know, and it's like, you know, that's the problem with this. You know, when you work, when you do your own thing now, you don't have that thing anymore. You don't get that weekly paycheck or bi-weekly. You don't have that. It's like, you know, it's the what they call that sense of uncertainty.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, I'll have a day where like I'll sell like one sticker.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then there'll be a day where I sell like 3 pieces of original art.
Yeah.
30 different people buy stickers from me.
Right.
Sell prints, and it's like, oh my god, you know, it rains, it pours, it's an arid fucking desert. You know, it's like, you remember when you were like younger, and you always had this like you were dating somebody.
Yeah.
And then it's like you think like your chances were like, well,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's almost like, I think you just have a full sense, but but I think the reality is you have a full sense of confidence now. Yeah. So when you're if I'm selling more art, it's like I'm like, but when I'm not selling art, I'm all of a sudden like I'm uncertain. My confidence level goes down. It's like almost the same type of thing.
That's funny. That's a really good analogy. I'll bet you that's a lot like it. Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. So when I get those hot chick clients.
Right? Listen up, you know. Well, okay. Look, this was really fun. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and I was real excited when we figured we would do it.
It's a long one, huh?
It is a long one. But honestly,
back to Forrest Gump.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you guys got tricked. You got tricked. This is actually all coded retelling of Forrest Gump.
Yes, it is. Well, look. I'd like to. I mean, we'll go back to our standard format next episode.
Do you want to say what it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next episode, you still going on about that?
Yes.
It's going to be Infinity War.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about Infinity War.
Right.
Because Avengers Endgame comes out.
Right.
So we're going to do a 2-part episode.
Yeah.
Now, that movie's already been out for a year, Infinity War.
But we've not done it.
We haven't done it yet, and we're going to talk about all those and the movie, but I also want to do like, maybe it'd be kind of fun if we have theories of what we think is going to happen in Endgame.
Yes.
And then we're going to see Endgame. And then we'll do an episode on that, and we'll either realize we were amazing geniuses, or we were saying really dumb shit.
Much more likely.
Probably. Or a little bit of, it'll be a nice marriage of both.
Nice mix of both.
Yeah. So, and we'll always talk about art on here too, and you know, if there, obviously whenever I have something new to talk about.
Yeah. I think I'd like that. I think like maybe in the future we could do like another one, because we really just kind of scratched the surface.
Yeah, I know that I get stuck on some things, and
no. I mean, I had like a couple pages of notes that I wanted to get through, but we got through all of them.
Yeah.
I specifically didn't want to do so when you were a young boy, you know, like I said earlier, I didn't want to do an origin story, you know, or anything like that. You know,
when I picked up that pencil,
I found myself on the rock of eternity with my micron. But
when Qui-Gon Jinn found me,
right,
and he said, that my
your micronlorians.
Yeah, my micronlorians were high in the sun.
Yes,
So micronlorians. Hashtag that, guys.
Exactly.
We're going to game the system with that one.
All right, well, let's end it here, and then we'll be back next week with a look at Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, I'm Rob Israel.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And I'm Joseph K. And
we're still going on about that.
About art.
Still art about that. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That with myself, Rob Israel, and Joseph K. Remember, you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, CastBox, and Podbean. So remember to like and subscribe, share, comment, leave us a basket of fruit or candy. Thank you for listening. All right, later. Bye.